The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Where do the Jets go from here? What changes does Aaron Glenn need to make going forward? We'll talk about that with Will Parkinson and Frankie V. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Guys, we always say this, and it's always going to be pretty. I got one game ball.
Let's keep it going next week.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, here on a Monday. Show number 2 on the day. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Reminder, get on the Patreon. If you aren't, you get bonus shows, access to our private Discord, your name added to the intro, and 20% off every item in the merch store. Year-round, just go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a combo, a package duo. Will Parkinson from the Turn on the Jets podcast, and Frankie V, who is the co-founder of U Stadium. Gentlemen, always appreciate both of you guys, and we're doing this after a Jet debacle against the Dolphins. The good news is only 4 games to go in this miserable season. Mr. Frankie, Mr. Will Pop, appreciate you both. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure's all mine, man. Well, what's up, brother?
How we doing?
Good. I feel like, Jake, we're back to reality today a little bit, huh? It's kind of back. So
yeah, the culture wins that the Jets were building. It kind of goes out the window when you no-show against a division opponent yesterday. Will, I'll start with you because you were there. What was your reaction knowing 5 minutes in, right, that this was going to be one of those days? It's 21-0 before you could really blink and get comfortable in your seat.
Yeah, I mean, the first defensive drive, like we've seen the Jets in the past, and any team, sometimes teams come out flat the first drive or whatever. Like, it wasn't necessarily the first drive. It was Tyrod pulled his groin the literal first offensive play, and it was like, oh, man. Like, you kind of was like, this is going to be a sloppy game. And then the second defensive drive, you're like, oh, no, this might get really ugly. And then it kind of stabilized. And, yeah, they did everything possible to lose yesterday. Like, every single thing you could do wrong as a team that's an underdog from a talent perspective, like, whether it's calls, missed tackles, just dropped interceptions, dropped pick sixes, dropped wide open touchdowns. They had Tua throw the ball at least a yard, if not 2, behind the line of scrimmage. That's not a fumble. Like, Brady Cook throws the worst interception I think I've ever seen yesterday. Like, it was like every possible bad thing. The defensive scheme sucked. The linebackers were terrible. Isaiah Oliver's shouldn't be on an NFL roster. Like, there's so much that happened yesterday that was just like, ugh. Like, it was unfortunately, you do expect in some ways these things to happen when you're like the talent is the way it is. But at the same time, this felt like this would have happened earlier in the year and been cleaned up. This is just one of those late season games that was like, geez, man, like this would get me to 2026. This is ugly.
yeah, kind of piggybacking off that, Will, Jake and Will. I mean, that game yesterday, I think, shined the light as to the issues we really have on this team, and that this roster has a lot of work to do. Positions that we thought were filled or we could depend on going into 2026. I'm not sure if that's the case. Defensive line, number 1 for me. I thought the defensive line played terribly yesterday. They were getting moved around. We like this guy Briggs and we like Phillips and, we like our backers to a degree. I mean, they didn't get anything going yesterday. We like our edges. We thought Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald combined for a tackle the whole game. Will McDonald wasn't on the stat sheet. I'm not saying you have to change everything in that front 7. Sherwood, I thought, had a better – listen, Sherwood didn't have a terrible game, but he also isn't able to set the front. He's not able to position himself in gaps where he's a smaller build linebacker. He did have 15 tackles, but it's not good enough. I don't think the front seven needs to drastically change, but they got to bring in a few pieces there, and they got to think about how they could really shore up that front seven. We know the deficiencies with the secondary. We know that we don't have safeties. We know we're depending on Brandon Stevens, who is an average corner at best. AZ Thomas can't stay healthy, which stinks. Looks like he could play, though, potentially. And my biggest thing, though, guys, and something that I'm sure we're going to get into it on the offensive side, listen, these receivers are who these receivers are. I think we could chalk one of them, into my mic fell, into being a wide receiver 3. But we need a wide receiver 2. And Breece Hall, we have to ask ourselves, is Breece Hall able to be a ground and pound kind of back in this kind of offense without Justin Fields or a scrambler back there or that option read? Breece Hall, his last 3 games with Tyrod playing and Brady Cook, he's averaged 3.1 yards a carry. Last game, 3.6. And then the game before that, 2.8. That's not good enough, man. I want to pay Breece. I'm not trying to crap on him, but he's got to be better for me to have confidence in giving him $45 to $50 million and not wanting to go out and maybe getting another running back. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Fields was why Breece had a bunch of 100-yard games earlier in the season. But again, they also didn't scheme Breece up at all yesterday, and I love me some Tanner Engstrom, but it's inexcusable. I don't give a crap. I keep people accountable. It's inexcusable. Breece Hall doesn't have a catch yesterday and has 1 target. That's on the offensive coordinator. No matter how you slice it, that's on him. So they all got to be better. We can talk about Wilkes for days. The coaching staff in general, just everyone's got to get better.
Well, just big picture, guys. Like, to me, watching that game, why is it anytime the Jets go up against a creative offensive mind on the other side, they are just outclassed? I mean, schematically, when will the Jets ever have the coaching advantage from a schematic standpoint? Will they under Aaron Glenn? And that kind of brings me to Wilkes. Like, again, it felt like Miami was running the same plays they ran against the Jets the first go around in that Monday night. Like, the Jets bite on play action more than any other Jet defense I could recall. You saw that again yesterday. Like, when do we see the Jets actually have a schematic advantage in some of these games? Because, again, when they face a really good offensive play caller on the other side, they have been outclassed this year.
Frank, you want to start? You want me to go?
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I just the defensive side of the football right now is a mixture of the guys that are talented are not playing well. The guys that are not talented are playing well, which doesn't really necessarily help you all that much. And then the scheme sucks. I don't want to be like super harsh about it, right? Like, who am I? I'm just a dude in an office with a bunch of jerseys up. Like, I'm nobody, but it's very predictable what they're going to do. They take the cheese on every play fake, man. It's unbelievable. There's always a miscommunication on the back end in play action. And the run game, like, these linebackers, I just said this on the pod. If you told me yesterday, outside of the first play that Sherwood had a TFL, the first play of the game, or it was not even a TFL, it was like, whatever. It was a nice play on the first play of the game. If you told me neither linebacker had a single tackle yesterday and you didn't know they played, I would have believed you. I don't know where they get lost. They get lost on every single run fake. And when they don't get lost, they're in coverage. And that's not Sherwood's best asset. And it's definitely not Quincy's best asset. It's just that was bad. Kiko was in hell yesterday. He looked like, he concussed himself on top of being in hell. Again, the secondary guys, there's a lot of different pieces playing right. And again, to some extent, like, I understand they've got UDFAs off the street. I mean, every week it's a different 3, 4, or 5 guys outside of, it's Stevens, Azaria when he's able to stay healthy. He was a great play. And unfortunately, like, I really hope that concussion earlier in the year doesn't like follow him, because like he has shown he's one of those guys that you get excited about. It feels like the mentality Glenn wants to have. He feels like a guy you want to build around. But, Malachi Moore is, I think, there's been growing pains. I think safety in the NFL is hard to play, especially as a rookie when like there's a million different things. But again, I don't even know if he's being put in the best positions. Like every time it feels like from an offensive perspective, I feel like there's games I felt like they've been better coached than the opposition. I think special teams, they're always better coached. And I think Glenn has gotten better where he's been at least in like the beginning of the year, he was obviously getting out coached. And then I felt like the last 5 weeks, I felt like he did a much better job in a lot of ways. Yesterday was like Wilkes, and it's not just Wilkes. And I understand that. But you could see Glenn had enough yesterday too. That was the first time I felt like I saw Glenn at the podium was like, I've had enough of this shit. Like, he's going to be loyal to him. That's part of, I think that's the way you earn respect in this league. And I get all that. Like, Glenn went through the same thing in Detroit. Anthony Lynn was very bad year one. He was a well-respected guy around the league. He was well-liked, right? Like, had been a head coach and all this stuff. And Dan Campbell said, that's great. I'm going to bring in Ben Johnson. Like, you get one coordinator mess up, in my opinion, and you can miss on quarterback once as a coach, depending on like the situation, right? The Jets missed on quarterback, and it's not necessarily their fault because there was not really many options. We know we've been over this. We all didn't like the contract. We understood the reason they went after Fields. Wilkes made sense in a vacuum of veteran guy. We all complained under Saleh that like they didn't bring in a veteran head coach type to let Saleh just be a CEO, and Glenn, did that. But Wilkes was the wrong hire. It's the right process. It's the wrong hire. It is what it is. I can get over that because, again, it's year zero for this. They've made it very clear it's year zero. Everyone wants to talk about, like, this coaching staff's not tanking and these players aren't tanking. But if you really look at it, like, they traded multiple all-pro players at the deadline. They've cut other guys. They've traded other guys. They're playing Brady Cook right now with Josser Taylor, Dean Clark, Jordan Clark, Isaiah Oliver in the secondary with Kiko Mauinoa playing and Clemens playing full reps. Like, let's be honest here. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Arian Smith gunner reps that are whatever. Long story short, I think defensive coordinator is the most easily fixable and could have a huge impact on how good this team is or not good. Like, quarterback's the main issue. We all know that. We all understand that that's the biggest thing they need to do this offseason. But outside of that, I think they nailed 2 of the 3 coordinator hires. I think Glenn did a really good job with both other coordinator hires. You have got to nail defensive coordinator because it's something that can be an instant impact for teams. Like, offensive coordinator sometimes takes a long time to kind of get your scheme in place and stuff. Defense, they have enough money to bring in their own guys. I don't know if you guys feel this. Like, how many guys that started yesterday would you like gladly want back starting next year? Like, I think Briggs and Phillips are probably the better 2 and a 3 than they are a 1, right? I think like they're ideally like part of a really good rotation. Jermaine, since the Denver game, has not looked the same. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what's going on there. Will McDonald is like 1 week he has 3 sacks, and next week you don't see him for 2 or 3 weeks, then he comes back and has sacks. I'd be cool with the entire linebacker room being gutted and fully revamping that to have some bigger guys that can run and play in space in a new scheme. Thomas and Stevens will be back. Moore will be back, but like they probably need to add another 2 or 3 DBs. Like, so long story short, that was a 25-minute rant, but like they need both talent and scheme help. That's the problem right now is it's not one or the other. It's both.
If they were to make a change, do you think there'd be any changes beyond Wilkes? What about the offensive staff, Will? Because I think like big picture.
Charles London on the chopping block.
But like, okay, Charles London's the quarterback coach. He's a former running back. Why is he qualified to coach up quarterback, especially if we're going to have a rookie that they make a top investment in the draft? Like, what other changes could be coming? Because if it is year 1 or year 0, well, that means that Glenn gets a chance now to learn from this year and make changes. Frankie, I'll start with you for this. What big picture stuff are you looking to see the Jets overhaul going forward?
Well, I'll say this, man. Looking at teams in the NFL that have the most turnovers, right? Who has the most turnovers? The Bears, Chicago Bears. Yeah. With Dennis Allen. That was a hire. Baby. Yeah. Jacksonville's got their new defensive coordinator, Anthony Campanile. It's a situation, Jacksonville just hired him. Obviously, they have a new staff there. It's inexcusable that we have 2 turnovers on the year, one of which was on special teams. So
yesterday was insane. The fact they didn't have an interception yesterday was like,
they should have. Dude, Michael Walker had that ball right there. Yeah, and Malcolm Moore hit him right there. And that fumble, maybe, that was a scoop and score. That was a behind.
Yeah, that could have been Williams, behind whatever his name is, dropped a clear pick 6.
Michael Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know why Williams.
I don't. No one really knows the guy. The guy actually has 4 interceptions for his career. I actually sat with that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Walker has more career interceptions than Sauce Gardner, believe it or not, but I'm not going to go there. But I'll say this, Jake, I said this to you last night. We have 0 interceptions on the season. 0.
In most games, they don't even come close, by the way. Yesterday, at least, they had chances. There are so many games they don't even come close to having a chance to make a play on a ball.
Yeah,
was begging, man.
He was. And the second fewest is I think 3 teams have 5. So, like, that is a Steve Wilkes issue that they have to just get a more aggressive, younger, fresher mind there calling the defense. Man, it's too vanilla, like Will was mentioning earlier. Any misdirection, these guys are freaking on clouds out there. They don't know where the hell they are, where they're going. It's like they got to do something, man, with that defense, because that's going to, dictate what our offense can do. And you want to hold people, to 20 points a game, not close to 30. It seems like we're at now. We give up the 3rd most rushing yards in football too now after yesterday. So, like, those aren't numbers that Steve Wilkes, he's been a defensive guy his whole career. Aaron Glenn too, right? Glenn played, like, the thing they tell you is there's an old school logic: stop the run and create turnovers. We're awful at both of them. So, like, something's got to give. The coach ain't going anywhere. So it's got to be the DC, man. And maybe some of these positional coaches too. We had Aaron Curry's our linebackers coach. I like him, but those linebackers aren't getting any better. Maybe you look at something there. Maybe you look at something with the D-backs. We have Dre Bly back there. We have a lot of former players on this staff. Maybe get some advisors with some experience. So it's inexcusable, man, this turnover difference. We have 2, and Chicago has 27. Like, how is that possible?
Bears have a negative point differential, and if they make one better play yesterday, they're 10-3 in the 1 seed in the NFC because of
crazy
turnovers. It's crazy.
Yeah,
also, turnovers is not just luck. Like, there is some luck with fumbles, like 100%. I think from, like, recovering fumbles, that is luck. The ball bounces weird ways. Like, that's one thing. I'll tell you, man. Like, it's a mentality. And you mentioned Dennis Allen. Aaron Glenn obviously worked under Dennis Allen, but not only do you do that, like, everyone's talking about Jim Leonard, and I'm 100% on board with the Jim Leonard idea. Getting him out of Denver is going to be extremely difficult, and they're going to have to do a really good job of, like, I don't know what you're going to have to offer him. He's an assistant head coach now. Denver gave him a title promotion last year to keep him. If Vance Joseph doesn't get a head coaching job, which good luck hiring that. But if you do, if you don't hire him, Jim Leonard, obviously, like, does he want to call plays? You probably have to make him an assistant head coach here. You probably have to pay him pretty penny. And it's not like it's because it's the Jets. It's just the reality of he's in a great situation now. They have a lot of talent in Denver. Like, Leonard's the perfect kind of hire. He's been amazing in college. He's been really good in the NFL. He comes from a similar tree. Give Al Harris a look too. He was awesome in Dallas. He's under learned under Dan Quinn. He's now with Dennis Allen in Chicago in his first year there. Newsflash: Al Harris, who was a turnover merchant.
Interesting.
Yeah, like,
I didn't think
so
about him. Yeah,
that was like Glenn played literally pretty much the exact same time as Al Harris. Those are the type of names I'd like to look at outside of, like, yes, I think the Wink Martindales and Jim Schwartz and Jonathan Gannon and those types, like, I'd be interested in those guys because they usually are able to do a really good job, and with the right amount of talent, like, all that makes sense. But it would be kind of cool to have, like, hey, 34-year-old Chris Banjo, Angstran's late 30s, the guy who's going to be in his second year full-time calling plays. Banjo in his second year as a coordinator. Maybe you bring in, I don't know, if you bring in Al Harris, do you bring in somebody like Frankie mentioned that could be kind of that really senior guy on staff? It's like not Tom Moore age, because Tom Moore is somehow still on staff. He aged like 86, but like that type of in his, I don't know, what's Wade Phillips doing right now? Can Wade Phillips sit in a booth for 17 games a year and just give input on, like, hey man, like, you don't have to be
love that guy.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know where he is. That's a good
Westhoff's done that with Banjo. The Jets had Westhoff in the building during the summer, and Banjo, with Banjo, and kind of just to kind of give him some pointers. That type of situation, I think, that would be good. So, like, yeah, fixing defense, I think, is also just a talent thing. Like, they're gonna have to add an edge rusher, a defensive tackle, probably another corner, definitely a starting safety. Probably one, if not two linebackers at a minimum to, like, really put yourself in a good spot. And if you look over in New England, right? Like, I didn't love all those signings. It's hilarious how Carlton Davis has never been healthy in his whole career and is now magically healthy at age 29. But like, the Patriots went in and said, okay, we need a new Mike backer that can call plays and put our defense in a good spot and be the eyes and ears for our coaching staff. Here's Robert Spillane, who did a really good job in Vegas. He's not a high ceiling player, but he's a very high floor player. And like, he's just a consistent 7 out of 10 every week. They went and spent big on Milton Williams. They already had a lockdown guy in Gonzalez. They brought in Carlton Davis to just be able to be like, and again, I don't want the Jets to go spend huge at corner. I want guys that can hit the quarterback, and I want guys that tackle in space. Like, in today's NFL, if you're gonna be aggressive, I don't know. We can go on for days about this, but if the Jets took an edge rush, like if they are not in the spot to take a quarterback in the top 6, top 7, and they don't trade up, I'm sorry, but like, edge rusher's got to be a conversation. It just does. Like, receiver and edge rusher, I know they have invested picks there in the last couple of years. I still don't think either position's fixed, and those are premium spots that you take in the top 10 in the NFL draft. Like, I love Caleb Downs. It'd be tough for me to take him at 6 just based on the fact that, like, maybe not. I take that back. Caleb's maybe an exception, but like, generally speaking, like, I don't know, if Ruben Bain's there and Falk's there and these guys, like, you're going to have to seriously consider what that option is. I know people don't want to hear it. It's not exciting, but edge rusher right now is not fixed. And it's, until they fix that spot again, dude, the guys, I don't know if you feel this way. They went from the most deep, really well-rounded basketball team edge room in 2022 and 2023 to they've got 1.5 weekly playable guys. It's
man, it's crazy, right?
I got neutered.
They should bring back JFM in free agency.
I would love that.
Not a bad call.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Listen, that also falls on Wilkes and Glenn a little bit. No,
yeah,
like, for sure. Who's gotten better on this defense, Frankie?
I'm just saying, like,
I would say, let's go through it. I was gonna say, let's go through it. We go through it, right? Like Briggs. I would say Briggs, Stevens, Brownlee, ish. Those are the guys I would say like outwardly got better under this staff. I'm not trying to be like,
that's probably where it ends, man.
Thomas and Moore just have not played enough to me to like really have a judgment on them. And
Tony Adams is like just Tony Adams.
Yeah, like
it's not. I mean,
the linebackers have definitely gotten worse. Phillips is who he is. Phillips has played well. I think Will has had moments where you're like, wow, I see the improvement, and then the other weeks I'm just like, what's going on here?
He didn't have a stat yesterday. He didn't register a stat.
The solid guys though are the ones that have really regressed. Like,
you know what Will McDonald needs to do, guys? He needs to put on some weight. He's got to come over
to
my mother's house
and
eat some pasta. That's what he needs to do.
It's not like
he's too skinny, Will.
Yeah, he put on weight this offseason, and then it's like people forget that, like, the infamous, this guy put on 20 pounds. Okay, well, when you get to camp, you're going to lose 10 to 15 pounds no matter what because you don't lift the same during the season. That means you really got to put on 30 to get back to be down 15. Like, it's not, I don't know, not to be that guy, but it's like, this guy gained 8 pounds of muscle. Like, dude, quickly you lose 8 pounds of muscle when you're practicing every single day and you're not lifting the way you did in the offseason. Like, it goes away quick.
They'll lose that in a week, some of these guys, honestly.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I saw play yesterday, Jalen Wright is like dragging Will McDonald. Will couldn't bring him down.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man. Like, and listen, I like Will McDonald. I'm actually a fan of his. We have to make a decision now in the offseason with his 5th-year option, which will be interesting. I agree with you, though, Will, in terms of what we need to do at edge. And by the way, I mean, Jermaine's going to be playing on his 5th year. I mean, it's not like there's no we can't jump to any conclusion there that we're going to just have this guy here for the next 2 or 3 years. Like, he's got to prove something. But I think there's honestly, guys, I think there's more with Will McDonald. I think has a ceiling that I'm willing to invest in a bit more than I am Jermaine. Jermaine's been a little bit more disappointing to me. I like him in the clubhouse. I like him in the locker room. Excuse me, clubhouse. Thinking of baseball. I like him there. I do. He players like him, fans like him. Everyone likes him. I like him a lot as a person. I have not seen enough reps where he is beating tackles cleanly in one-on-ones and getting to the quarterback in an easy sort of fashion. I haven't. And with that said, maybe you bring in another edge and he plays a little bit more 3-tech, or you move him around a bit, make him turn him into a Justin Tuck. But I don't know if he's able to play inside with the big boys, with the guards up down there. I don't know, but they should start moving him around a little bit, because you want JFM, turn him into more of a JFM and get another edge if they want to keep him, or don't keep him. That's my opinion. Will McDonald's just going to have to play wide 9. That's it. I mean, what else is he going to do?
I just keep going back to and it's, again, I understand from a lot of reasons why they didn't, but if a 2 is really on the table, and I look back at it, I'm I think I just would have taken it, and again, it's probably not an easy thing to say, because Jermaine was a guy that you don't feel like that's the return you wanted, and you don't want to have to move off him and have another guy you need to replace. But my line with him, and Joe Caparosa talks about this all the time, is the Calvin Pace comp with Jermaine of hey, really stable. The Jadeveon Clowney of post Texans, where it's 4 to 9 sacks a year, depending upon the year and game scripts and all these different things. Amazing run defender, is going to be on the field for 17 games a week, 17 games a year, and he's going to impact everybody around him, makes everyone better. That was what Jermaine was in 2023. 8-sack guy, really good against the run. Everyone liked him. Good in the, I said clubhouse too. Good in the locker room and everything.
Is it clubhouse? Can you say clubhouse?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a baseball term, but then it's it does fit, right? It's
Jake, can you say that? Jake's the.
You can go with clubhouse. Why not?
Can you use,
yeah,
you can use clubhouse for the NFL. It's suitable. I'm just saying. I've been saying
it's the same the thing you're implying with it. The one thing for Jermaine I'll add, I'm not giving up on him just yet, because he is coming off the Achilles, and I know that he is he said all summer that he's 100%, he's better than ever, but I'll give him some grace given the fact he's coming off the Achilles. I expect him to be better next year, but they have a ton of needs on defense, as we know. We already talked about Wilkes. A couple super chats I want to get into, but I also want to let people know this is the last show before the raffle tomorrow. So make sure you enter by the end of today for your chance on the show tomorrow morning to win a signed Namath helmet, signed Nick Mangold autographed football, and a signed helmet by a guy the Jets desperately miss on their defense this year, Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley. End of the show today, we'll do a jersey giveaway as well. So if you enter today, you're qualified for a chance to win a jersey. Ryan McCarthy won one on the first show today, and then the weekly raffle as well. Couple super chats, and then we'll get into the tankathon conversation, where the Jets go from here, and the quarterback discussion. Mace B starts us off with the super chat here. CJ is awesome. Texans would be favorites with that defense if they can protect them. Jake, looking at the current 14 playoff teams, Jets have a better offensive line than at least half Jets next season in playoffs. Couple things. One, I can't even entertain the Jets making the playoffs next year until we have any idea what their plan is at quarterback. So I'm not going to go there. But two, I do think one of the things that we can be encouraged about is the Jets offensive line, which is why of the 5 first-rounders you have over the next 2 years, it is to me really encouraging, knock on wood, between Olu and Membu. You don't need to use a first-round pick on an offensive tackle, which is huge. You already have a wide receiver 1. You have a good tight end. You have Breece Hall, who I think will be back. There's some pieces here for a rookie quarterback next year. But again, until we know who that quarterback is, it's tough to entertain the Jets ending a 15-year and counting playoff drought, Will.
Yeah, I like Stroud. I don't know if yesterday was my this is why CJ Stroud is awesome game. Both those defenses are amazing. The Texans are built the way the 2023 Jets were supposed to be built with Rodgers. Amazing defense. They hits the quarterback a ton. They have a lockdown corner. It's the same exact scheme. They had linebackers that could run sideline to sideline. They'll beat the shit out of you, play after play after play. That's what the Jets are supposed to be. And then on offense, it's it was Garrett and Breece, and the offensive line wasn't great, but you want to make sure the quarterback puts you in an advantageous situation. So it's hard to kind of watch the Texans and not be damn, that probably should have been us if the turf's different and all these different, thing works in mysterious ways. But yeah, the Texans defense is amazing. If you like to bet, I would try to bet it. I would be betting on the Texans to not only win the division, but I'd bet them to win the AFC.
Interesting.
Their offensive line's not good. It is very bad. And I'm not sure that I trust CJ Stroud to not only stay healthy, but also him and D'Amico go into I don't know. Can they go in and I don't want to use New England, but can they go into Denver and like, are they going to, is Sean Payton going to, D'Amico going to get the best of Sean Payton in over 60 minutes in a game in Mile High, whatever it may be? That defense is just so goddamn good. And they're so good at taking the football away.
Yep.
And hitting the quarterback. And if you do that, you can travel during the playoffs. Right now, I think if the Jags lose one and the Texans win out, the Texans would win the division at 12-5. I think that's the math. And I guess Jags fans are very nervous that like they'll be the team that loses to the Jets and then they'll blow the division. But the quarterback play, like Stroud's better than Bo Nix. And so if they're in Denver, you'd like that matchup. Patriots Texans, as much as it pains me to say this, would be a really fun like AFC title game of like just absolute throwback to the late 90s. Like last night, I felt like I was watching 90s football and it was so refreshing. There was big hits, turnovers. The quarterbacks were kind of in hell. The crowd was into it. Guys were playing hard. As much as everyone loves 45-44 and the whole thing, like still love same thing in baseball. Like I still love a 1-0 pitching matchup where these guys are just the most dominant people on the on the baseball field. So the Texans are really good, man. And they got a lot of weapons. If they could figure out how to build that offensive line in any way, shape, or form, they're going to be good for quite a long time.
Let's see. This one's from the big fellow. We need a quarterback, Mendoza, and a big middle linebacker. Sherwood, not a middle linebacker. Let him play next to a thumper and utilize speed. Those two are the biggest needs. I do think linebacker needs to be completely revamped. I'd be surprised, Will, if Alex Anzalone's not signed. He's a Glenn guy, free agent. You give him a 2-year deal, you can lead your defense and kind of implement, the identity that Glenn wants. Between him,
Sherwood out a lot too.
You have all this cap space. To me, I'd rather see the Jets spend big on fixing the defense and free agency and then use all these picks we have this year to try and revamp the offense. Most notably, a quarterback I still think is going to happen in the first round this year. I don't know who, but I would watching that game yesterday, Will, and you're there. There's no way Woody Johnson is allowing this team to have a bridge quarterback option and punting on quarterback till 2027. There's no way. Yeah,
a couple of things. One, I'm down for Anzalone. There's got to be a number though, because he's not getting younger.
Nope.
If he's a 2-year deal, it's really a 1-year deal, and he just comes in to kind of help the new defensive coordinator be like a guy, and he can be one of your 3 linebackers. CJ Allen's a guy in round 2 that I would be familiarize yourself with. For the listeners, he's a thumper. If you watched Alabama, Georgia this weekend, that dude lost contact. Sherwood, if you're going to get the best out of him, he cannot be a guy that's responsible for calling plays and running in A-gaps over and over again. Like he's 220 pounds. Like he just is. He's a smaller linebacker. That's why he fits solid scheme, because those guys are sideline to sideline guys. I would seriously see if San Francisco or Atlanta, if they retain their staff, which it looks like they won't probably, but I would see if San Francisco would be like, hey, we'll eat half the money. And if you get a pick swap and maybe you move up back in around 4 because they give you a fit, whatever it is, it's not even against anything about Sherwood, but if you're going to change this scheme again, you've now asked the guy in over 3 years to play in 3 different schemes. It's a very difficult conversation. Biasly, both the Oklahoma linebackers, actually all 3 of them are going to come out. Heineke, Lewis. Oh my God, I'm forgetting. There's a third one that's now out of my mind right now. But you need a bigger linebacker to be your Mike, and then you can move somebody off ball. Quincy's 220 pounds, maybe, and so is Sherwood right now. And it's Kiko's their bigger backer, which is fine, but unfortunately, his head's swimming at the moment. So yeah, I agree. And again, quarterback's obviously the biggest need. I'm sure we can talk about Mendoza. I like him. I'm worried about the dialogue around him has now gotten to the point that's scaring me, that whatever it takes, he's going to be the savior. And I always that always scares the shit out of me, because what if he's just okay? And then it's everyone thinks he's a disappointment, when in reality that's not it's not a fair take for him. You know what I mean? I don't know, whatever. I know Frankie's higher on him than I am, and I think Jake, you are as well, but I like him. I think he's a first round pick. I'm still I need to see just a little bit more, because I still don't, I'm not wowed. I think he's got a lot of good intangibles, and he's got some really good traits. His accuracy is really impressive. He throws in the tight windows. He's got a big enough arm. His feet are not his foot speed. And I as much as people don't want to hear this, I have serious genuine concerns around. I think that it's really fun when you're winning. The like, this is so flippin' exciting, man, and like I think that's like it's fun and it's great for Twitter. Are we positive that in an NFL locker room full of grown ass men, that stuff works? Because we've seen it in the NFL. We see it from JJ McCarthy. We see it from Kirk Cousins, where like as soon as you start losing, it burns out. And I just worry just a little bit. And I'm not trying to be a dick and anything like that. It could work 100%. And he's going to be. I think he probably will be a successful NFL quarterback. I just have slight like. I don't know, man. We've seen like. I don't know. I just have concerns around it. And it's not the only reason I'm not like, I don't love Mendoza. I like him. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to be a top 5 pick no matter what, really, at this point. I just am a little worried about the like trade 4-1s for him. That's all.
Let me bring up a point to you.
Yeah.
I agree with your sentiment there about what could happen in the locker room to a degree, but I'll tell you something. I think corny sells. In a locker room. Like he's a corny white guy. Like I think it sells. Like he's funny, like he's weird. That sells more than like McCarthy almost, who's like
9,
thinks he's the shit or something. Like he's arrogant about it. Mendoza's literally said in the post game, he's like, you know, I love it here. And we all take the approach of being misfits. Like Indiana, we're the misfit toys and the intangible stuff. Will, you're gonna hate me for saying this.
Yeah.
And Jake, but it reminds me of a little bit like when Brady was at Michigan. Like he just made plays late in games. Like no matter what, you try to knock that kid down, and they did the first play of the game. They try to take him out of the game. He's always in there. I will say though, I think he's going to come into the NFL, guys, and be more of a game manager like Brady was his first couple of years, or Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think a team's going to be able to, or should ask him to throw 30 plus times a game. He's not a high volume passer, but he's showing that he's clutch, man. And there's something to be said there. And sometimes it's lucky. Sometimes you just made the right throw and everyone's like, oh, you're clutch. Look at that throw. But he's showing Will and Jake that he's able to do it over and over again. With that said, I'm not touching the 27 first if we need to move up for him. I am not touching them. Yeah, I'm not touching those. Touch the other 26 first. Use that one if you want, and that's a haul. But give them, 6, 4, 5, whatever it is. Give them 18 or 20. Give them a second round and a fourth rounder. And if they don't want to take that, then move the hell on and don't draft.
I was just going to say, there's a price.
That's just me, bro.
No, I think I'm not saying that you can't trade it. This is I think what Connor was trying to say yesterday, and people got very angry about it. It's not that I don't think people want. I would be open to trading up for Mendoza under the right package where you still have amicable draft capital in both this class and next year's to be able to address the other needs, because he's not going to come in.
You need to.
He's not going to come in. And what if Mendoza comes in and is awful and you've traded 4 first-round picks and now 2027, that job, Glenn's probably fired. Now you don't have all these picks to go restart a quarterback. I want to at least 2. If you said it's 4 this year, whatever. I'm just saying they pick 4 overall and they move up to 1 with the Giants or the Raiders, whatever it is, or whoever. Pick your poison. They moved 1 this year and 1 next year and the 2 this year, where you still maintain some picks in this draft and at least 2 in next year's draft. Sure, totally on board with it, man. That's great. I totally understand the thinking. You want to get your guy. You want a high floor quarterback, and we think, hey, we can massage some of the ways we kind of get him involved in different things, and we'll do some media training on him. But hey, this is going to work out great, and we're excited. And we still have enough. We can add a receiver. We can add an edge rusher in these things. Cool. That's fine. A lot of my mentions, and maybe it's just Twitter, and maybe it's just, who knows who half these people are with different things of their pictures on their, Twitter profiles, but whatever it takes, 4 1s. It's dude, I don't know if I would trade 4 1s for anybody other than 2 quarterbacks in the league. And I'm not trading 4 1s for any that you got to be starting to be careful, because we saw the Panthers do it with Bryce Young, 3 1s, multiple 2s, and DJ Moore, and they're they're not very they're going to be one of the worst playoff teams I've seen in a long time. So
what do you think it would cost? What do you guys think it would cost if we're drafting? Let's say we're drafting.
Where are we picking?
We're drafting 5th.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Yeah. People have hijacked the Fernando Mendoza trade up conversation. You have a lot of just absolute morons who don't factor in the nuance of the conversation based on besides Mendoza, how many other quarterbacks are deemed first-round worthy players, right? If Dante Moore declares, all of a sudden supply and demand, the Jets, if they're picking at 5, maybe they don't need to move to 1. Maybe they like Moore just as much and they can move to 2 or 3 and it doesn't cost as much. So it's impossible to answer, Frankie, because we don't know the order. But let's say it ends up being the Giants in Tennessee at 1 and 2. The Jets, I believe, because of that Colts pick, are equipped to trade up and beat any team's best offer. Cleveland, maybe they like Shador, that'd be great, and they stick with him. But even if Cleveland's in on a quarterback, they own Jacksonville's pick. Well, the Jets pick, by nature of the Jets finishing probably 3 and 14, it's going to be around the top 5. And then you have the extra pick from Indianapolis that could be anywhere from 12 to 15 if they lose out, which I think they will. That trumpets any offer the Raiders could make. That trumps any offer the Browns can make. You don't need to tap into
team, Jake, you really want
first.
You know what 3 teams you really want to be picking in that top 3? Oh, really 4, but one of them, dude, Washington continuing to lose. They have like no picks. They traded all these picks in the last 2 years. For some reason, they went all in this year, which don't get me started on how dumb that was.
That blew up in their face.
It blew up in their face, but it's not their fault. Jaden got hurt, but like,
yeah,
and Tunsil's been good, but multiple picks for Debo and whatever. The whole thing, like, that's the type of team that like newer GM and a staff that now is like panicking that does not have enough guys to like enough picks to go and fix the roster. Like, that's a team you want, right? The Raiders, I think, is a team that might need a quarterback, but they might say, we're going to punt on that. And like, we're going to totally blow it up. We're going to move on we're going to go get as many picks for Crosby and all these different things as we can do and blow it up. Tennessee, obviously newer GM, their roster needs everything. And honestly, the Giants are a team that, as much as like I don't know if that would ever happen, but that roster needs a good amount of pieces, and they're likely going to be having a new GM potentially. And if it's not, Shane can buy himself 3 more years by doing, by something like that. Those are the type of teams. Like the Browns being there doesn't help you, because they may not take a quarterback. It's going to be annoying the entire time. And on top of that, they already have multiple ones, as you mentioned. Like, they're not desperate for picks the same way, a Washington or somebody like that would be. So I think it's all, you mentioned it. It's also who's in the class, right?
No one talks about that. People act like it's only Mendoza. When Dante Moore declares, he's top 5 too.
There's a good chance, and it's extremely biased opinion, but it's not really at the same time. Ty Simpson hasn't been the same since he played Brett Venables, in Tuscaloosa 4 weeks ago. He just hasn't been the same quarterback. Yeah, we know if Ty Simpson balls out and rebounds and lights it up against Oklahoma, I'm going, oh, okay. Now his stock's rising all of a sudden again. It's like, wow, he overcame adversity. He looks better. If Oklahoma dominates, their defense dominates, and then they dominate Mendoza, like, does that hurt his stock where he's not going 1-1 and maybe he does fall to 3 and you can trade up and it's less? Like, there's a lot that could happen. Does Dante Moore go on a run here? Right? Like, there's these things can happen, man. Like, I don't know. It's unfortunate.
There could be another you never know too. There could be another quarterback.
USC in the playoff. Obviously, I like USC, but like, I want to see Jaden Mayava get 2 or 3 more.
I was gonna say, I was gonna bring him up.
Want to run, man?
You never know, man. Yeah. Josh Allen came out of nowhere at a point, right? No one was really talking about that kid, and then he propelled.
Was anyone talking about Dart seriously as a top 5 pick at this point last year?
That's my point. And Will,
no, they weren't. I saw him late, like in the 10s, but no,
yeah.
Never
and then he had the Florida game. He threw 3 picks in 4 minutes, and it was like, dude.
Yeah. Will, where do you think the Jets end up? Right? Because I don't think they're going to win a game if Brady Cook starts the last 4. Yeah, if they finished 3 and 14, and they're picking 4 or 5, it's very easy to orchestrate a trade up to number 1 if the Titans are at 1. When you give them the Colts pick, maybe one of your second rounders this year. And if that's all it is.
Would you rather give up both 2s this year and a 1 next year, but not have to touch the Colts pick, or multiple 1s in the future, but you keep all your picks this year? Like, that's, again, the team you're talking to. What timeline are they on? Just to your point, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe Washington wants multiple 2s this year and a future 1 or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
you know what team that's interesting, guys? I think we can use players potentially in this trade. Talk to Tennessee. Tennessee has nobody on that defense, especially that front.
Simmons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Jamie Sherwood, take him.
I mean, he's an option
for free Simmons swap.
That's it. No, Jamie and Sherwood for the 2nd pick. Done. All right. I just think, Jake, you could use Jermaine or Will McDonald maybe in these conversations, and you save a first. Like, I'm just saying.
I just think we have hijacked again, like it's gonna cost 3 1s, 4 1s to get Mendoza.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
don't know that.
people have no idea what you're talking about when you say that, because there's so much undecided here. And again, the Jets have $100 million in cap space this offseason. They have even more going into the offseason in 2027 between the cap space, and even if they made some sort of trade up in this year's draft, if Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn, with still this many truckload of premium assets, even after a trade up, couldn't put together a winning team when you don't need a wide receiver 1 and you don't need bookend offensive tackles because those are already in place. What are we talking about, man? Like, you need a quarterback. And if they like Mendoza or they like Moore, and it would cost me the Colts pick and one of my 2 seconds this year, and I'm still keeping my 3 1s in 2027, where, as I had the conversation with Mike Tannenbaum on the radio yesterday, you trade out with one of those picks and recoup the value that you gave up a year prior to get your QB. Like, there's so many different avenues the Jets could go down to recoup the value, like how the Eagles always have all these extra picks every year because of what Howie Roseman does. So I just think people got to calm down with the mortgaging the future to get one of these quarterbacks. You already mortgaged your future by trading Sauce and Quinnen. You had these picks so you could do exactly what we're discussing, trading up within reason to get one of these guys if you like them.
Yeah.
I
was laughing.
Yeah.
Somebody said Mendoza's Asperger's helps with him under pressure. Dante Moore crumbles. No, I don't know, man.
There is something weird about Mendoza in like a good way, man. I'm just saying, like, I'm with you, Will. It's a little strange, but I like it though. Yeah, I like it. He's like even a little weirder than Luck. Luck was kind of, he's so corny that it's like not awkward, even though like it's extremely awkward. I can't explain it, but I think it'll sell well in the locker room, man. I think listen, I don't know what his ceiling looks like. That's my worry. I know he's a high floor player. I don't know what that ceiling is, but I don't know. I think he'd play quarterback well here. I really do. I don't know. It's not going to be CJ Stroud year 1 good, but yeah, I don't know what it's. I think a team though, guys, in that top 5 or top 3, whoever we want to trade with, they're going to want one of those 27 picks. They're going to want one. We have 3 of them. It's a better draft. I mean, anyone's going to want them. And you know what? If push comes to shove,
I'd trade it if I get to keep the pick.
They might just give that one up. Like,
they also very easily could trade for a veteran, and none of this is all a mute point. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much that could happen now, and like one guy always shakes free every year. That's not supposed to, and who knows what they're playing, what kind of field they're playing in now. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying like that's the end all be all, but there's just so much that could unfold here between now and April. Like, it's just such a difficult conversation because you don't know where they're picking. You don't know who's picking ahead of them or not ahead of them. You know, what the draft process looks like, all these different things. Like, just so much could unfold that it's unfortunate we're having a quarterback conversation, but in a lot of ways this was expected. Even if Fields played well, I still think they would be drafting a guy. Like, I don't think they would have been like, I don't know. I think there would have been a chance they would have been drafting a guy no matter what. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but like, I just want to see how the playoffs unfold before I make any proclamation on who the end all be all trade 4-1s guy is.
Yeah. I was going to say, I can see the Raiders for some reason. I have this vision, really stupid vision, but I can see the Raiders drafting Dante Moore. I don't know why.
The Raiders trading for Jalen Hurts.
That'd be wild.
And the Eagles just resetting.
Tanner McKee. Whoever.
It depends what happens with the Eagles. They have a big game tonight in a few hours. We'll see.
I'd move a 5 for McKee. I'm not touching, like, he's a lottery pick. He's got literally 1 career start. I'm not moving with a 1 year left on his deal. I'm not trading and whatever. But like, if you said the Jets would move a 2, but they get back 2 4s or something, like some combination of it, like Tanner McKee's at least interesting. He's at least like a.
I'm going to bring up something that'll get, if Gary's listening, it'll get Gary excited. Jacob. I'd give up a 6 rounder for Spencer Rattler, man.
Yeah.
Bring in Big Spencer, dude.
Yeah.
Why not?
A quarterback with Brady Cook, Spencer Rattler, Tyrod Taylor, and Tanner McKee.
Love that. Some super chats. Robin says, drink some hot tea with brandy and lemon, Jake. Feel better. I appreciate you, Robin. Look, Will and Frankie are doing all the talking here. I got my tea, and I'm trying to nurse myself back to health. Jetaholic says, you could tell Mendoza lives and breathes and eats football, also has the most experience by far. I think he's the guy they want, and I'm in high floor. I do think Mendoza might have the highest floor, which I'm cool with. Big fella with a follow-up here, $20 super chat in our raffle. Make sure you guys get in the raffle today. Last chance to do it for 5. There's one thing about Mendoza. Picking him will extend Garrett's career. No hospital balls. Guy has accuracy and touch. Also high character guy. He and Glenn's press conferences would be worth a first-round pick in entertainment value alone. He was on McAfee today, which I encourage Jet fans to watch. He's a likable dude. He's a little nerdy, a little weird.
Mendoza was on McAfee today?
Yeah, he was on.
ChatGPT was used during that conversation.
You saw it? You saw it, Will?
No, I didn't watch it yet, but the last time he was on there, I was like, dude, you're obviously reading off a paper. Like, what is going on here?
You have a teleprompter on McAfee.
That would have been, you never know these days, you know. Like, who knows what's AI?
I don't know anything, man.
Darth Crypto says, Darian Mensa, go Duke ACC champs. Mensa's Dom season number 2 quarterback on his rankings early on here.
He's number 2? Interesting.
I'm on quarterbacks. Yeah, I'm on quarterbacks.
About that in Mobile.
He's got Mendoza 1, Mensa 2. I think Moore 3, Simpson 4 was his initial list.
Interesting. All right. Well, Dom knows his stuff.
Bino says, our first Indy's first and a 2 this year and a 2027 third. If that's what it would take, I wonder where the Jets would be picking if it would cost that much to move up.
The only thing that's tough with that is like this roster needs so much, and you'd have one pick outside of the top 100, one pick in the top 100 this year, and it's just like I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm not poo-pooing that. I'm just saying like
you do keep the 3 first rounders in 2027.
You would. It's just then it's like just like scary, like. Just Mendoza on this roster with like minimal additions isn't exactly like changing the outlook. You know, I don't know. Sure, like that was at least a good start.
What they do in free agency at that point too, because I think people forget free agency before the draft.
And Travis Jones and Linderbaum. We're having a much different conversation. Like,
right.
You know,
it's also more expensive, guys. 5 first-round picks. Like it's more probable than not that they're going to move one of those at least.
Yeah,
so
100%.
They sort of made those moves with one of those at least. As trade, capital in some way, shape, or form, however they're going to do it. But I doubt we're not getting 5 first rounders in the next 2 years. I would be very surprised if that's the case.
JJ checks in. I could be wrong, but none of the top quarterbacks in the league were traded up significantly for. They all fell to their teams.
That's not true.
Oh no,
Jared Goff got traded up for. We talked.
I
don't know if Jared Goff is considered a top quarterback, but. I actually did a study.
The last 3 MVPs have all been traded up for significantly with draft capital.
JJ wants the Jets to trade for Shedeur Sanders. That was his call on my morning show.
I would tell you that Shedeur had. I'm not going to get into this. Never mind. Continue. He's not coming to the Jets. Continue. Sorry.
Well, Shedeur had like the worst interview ever with the Jets at the Combine last year. That was like well known.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say? Like that's out there.
Yeah, I was going to. Yeah. I'm going to leave it alone. Shedeur made it quite. I wouldn't say he put his best foot forward in that interview. Just carry on.
Doug says, I watched every Duke football game this season. Mensa's great, but he needs another year in college.
That's kind of isn't that kind of like the talking point for like all these quarterbacks? And that's part of the problem. Like Arch has shown a lot of flashes. He probably needs another year. Ty Simpson shown a lot of flashes. Probably needs another year. Dante Moore shown a lot of flashes. Needs another year. Like Swarnsby needs another year. Like it's just that's part of the problem with this class is like you're either betting on like probably higher floor, lower ceiling, or you're betting on all ceiling with a guy who has probably had 12 to 15 starts. Like that's I don't know. That's kind of where we leave off. That's part of the issue with this class. It's like
and also, guys, you guys know, Will, you know the process probably better than anyone. When you go to the combine, you do the drills, you do the interviews, you got the pro days, you have the hype around. Things are going to be feel and look differently in a few months. Like it is what it is. That's the process. We're really early in it right now.
Rises, one guy that falls. Always.
Yeah, it happens every year. Like it's just Shedeur Sanders at this point last year was
like number 2
talked
overall.
about to be like a top 2 pick. Him and Cam Ward, and he fell to the 5th. I mean, like you just don't know. So, yeah, there's a lot between now and then. It's not going to be.
Someone could wear headphones in an interview. Who knows? They might fall.
Trade 3 for. I'll solve our problems. Call up Cincinnati. They don't want Burrow there anymore. He's always hurt. He's getting old. Give him 3 first-round picks. Bring in Joe Burrow,
Chase Higgins and Burrow.
There you go.
You can have Jamie and Sherwood in a 7.
I'll solve our problems, Jake. That's it.
Bino says we have 2 seconds this year. So his
I know,
trade
that's what I said. They would only have one other pick inside the top 100. I know what he was meant. I got you, Bino. Don't worry.
I would probably do this if they love one of these quarterbacks, if it's Mendoza, if it's Moore, I think I probably would do it because again,
I would do that. I'm fine with that as long as it's keeping the 3 1s and 20. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
If you can't build your team with all that, then you're not good at your job if you're Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn.
100%.
Yeah, I do think Mendoza too. I'm usually not in favor of starting a quarterback year 1 or their first game. Like I think Mendoza would hit the ground running to the point that he could just run the offense and be good enough to put together and to run a game script and have no issues doing it. He's a very high IQ quarterback. Like I think you could start him game 1. I don't think he needs to sit, or you have a bridge guy, whomever. You could sign anyone, sign Mariota and have him start the year or whomever, and just let it rip. And when he's ready, Mendoza, put him in. I mean, that makes sense. There's
I want a bridge guy no matter what. Like ideally the rookie doesn't need to play right away.
Yeah. And if the rookie can play right away, then put him in. Like it's not a problem. I mean, they're going to want to win football games, the Jets, next year. And they're going to have to start winning next year.
That's why they need the quarterback, Frankie, because if they finish with 3 wins this year, right, maybe they win 4, but I doubt it. I mean, FanDuel's our sponsor. Jets are 11.5-point underdogs against the Jaguars on Sunday, right? So say they lose to Jacksonville, they lose out, they finish with 3 wins. If they go out there and they win, let's say 5 or 6 games in 2026, that's 8 or 9 wins through their first 2 years. They're not guaranteed a year 3. That's why they need the rookie this offseason so they could say, hey, he got his growing pains out of the way. Now in year 3, it all comes together and we make the playoffs. Like that's why from a just keeping Woody off their back standpoint, I think Glenn and Muji they need to get the quarterback figured out this offseason.
Yeah. They're going to have expectations to be a team that's in the hunt and with between 7 and 9 wins next year, regardless of who the quarterback is, whether it's a rookie or somebody else. Like they're going to be expected to be in the hunt. They're going to expect to be like where Miami's sitting right now, or it's like in terms of record, or it's like they need it next year to be a year that they don't start 1-6, 1-7 and win games. They need to be a team that's 4-4 at the bye and 6-6 at Thanksgiving. And like, that's kind of the way it needs to operate next year. Obviously, again, it'd be great if it's better than that. It is what it is. But they need to be a team next year where like they're in the mix the whole year. And it's a matter of can they win 1 or 2 games at Miami or at New England or any of those type of things. Like they already secured a 4th place schedule, which just means they're probably playing Cleveland, Tennessee, and Arizona, as their 3 kind of up in the air opponents. But listen, they got the NFC North and the AFC West next year.
Tennessee, by the way, is in Tennessee, so that could be an Asmaniac road trip game.
Also, they're in Detroit Thanksgiving.
Ooh. They would have put the Jets on Thanksgiving. No way.
They have before. They put them in Dallas.
But that was 2007. That's a long time ago already.
Well, 2015 weren't they? Or no, that wasn't Dallas.
That was a Saturday night game. That was in December.
I don't know. They mix up all the primetime games. They're all usually awful.
The last time the Jets played on Thanksgiving was the night of the butt fumble.
Yes, it was.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that infamous dog shit play.
Will should have never been called.
Will, you're the man. Appreciate you hopping on.
Talk soon, boys.
TOJ Pod. Frankie, if you got to run, feel free. If not,
I got a little time. What time is it? No, I'm good. It's 5:30.
I got a guy on the line that has a trade proposal for you. All right. So I'm going to go to him first here.
Purple about Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
My dog's going nuts, so sorry. But
your dog heard about Fernando Mendoza. That's what I heard. Yep.
Yeah. So you mentioned before that the Raiders might be sellers. So hypothetically speaking, like let's say we trade up for Mendoza and it's like a first, a second, and a third. Do you think that we would also trade maybe to get Max Crosby to cover the edge? And if it's like a first and a second, that way we're using 5 picks, we get our quarterback, and we solve edge.
Will said that, by the way, and that wasn't me. But I do think what he was saying is if they do sell off Max Crosby, let's just say, with his money, and you get a bunch of picks, they may want someone like Will McDonald to cover for Max Crosby, let's just say. So he's playing there. He has his 5th-year option. Then they could maybe get into a more favorable deal for them. They don't kill themselves at the position completely, but they are sort of in a rebuild mode with Will McDonald or someone like that. I think he didn't mention the Will McDonald point, but yeah, I mean, Oakland, Vegas, no one really knows what they're going to do, man. They fired Chip Kelly, and I didn't see that one coming. I mean, when they hired him, there was rumors that he was going to take over there. Is their coach going to stay there? I don't know. Like, nobody really knows what's going on over there. Brady, I'm sure, is going to get his hand involved. I think they might do something aggressive, but I think they're done with Geno, man. And if they're not done with Geno, they'll be done with him by midway through next season. So I would not bank on them not taking a quarterback. I'm just telling you, I don't know. But again, they might trade for a quarterback. I could see them being a team that Brady likes a veteran on the market, whomever that might be available, and he might say, hey, let's go and bring somebody else in here to compete with Geno. That's always possible. They might sign someone. So you never know, but they're going to do something aggressive to address that quarterback. I'm just saying.
So for both sides, if you're the Raiders, are you taking a 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, and let's say Will McDonald for Max Crosby? And if the 1st-round pick would be 27
from Crosby?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like.
I don't think they would want Will McDonald.
Yeah,
I think they would want as many ones as possible.
So you don't think the 1 and the 2 would get it done?
No, not for Crosby.
Vegas
is incredibly unpredictable.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete Carroll, we have no idea his status. We have no idea what their plan will be. Brady tried to get Stafford for them last year, failed. He also tried to get Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel, failed to get either one of them. Carroll could be gone. They already fired Chip Kelly. That was Brady's recommendation. They made him the highest paid OC in the NFL. They're a mess. So the idea that the Raiders are just going to trade all their picks to get one of the quarterbacks, I'm not buying it. Hopefully the Raiders beat the Giants in a few weeks because that could be their only opportunity to win one more game.
Yeah, totally.
All right, guys, thanks.
Hey, wait a minute. I mean, listen, this is probably not going to happen, but I'm saying Stafford may be gone. Depending on how that Rams season ends, people are talking about them being in the quarterback market. They might want to rebuild. Yeah, they do. So maybe he goes to Vegas for a few years. I'm just you just never know what's going to happen there, Jake. I'm with you.
Let's get the more of your calls, shall we? Frank is next. Hey, Frank.
What's up, Jake? What's up, Frankie? So, I saw an article the other day that the Jets may punt on a quarterback in this year's draft and wait until 2027 to make a splash. I think if you're Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn, you just can't do that. You can't risk it. And the thing about Fernando Mendoza, a lot of people don't know. I have Asperger's syndrome myself. I could tell you one of the key points to having Asperger's syndrome is that things that you're very interested in, you lock in on, you hone in on, you learn as much as you possibly can, you obsess over it. And I think Mendoza is built that way, where he just, focuses in on football. Outside distractions don't really matter to him. The personality, I think it'll be fine in New York. I think it'll be fine in the locker room. But Mendoza, if he does have a floor, I would say it's probably Jared Goff. And you may not think Jared Goff's a top 5 quarterback, but he's definitely a top 10 quarterback, at least to me, especially in just terms of consistency, knowing what you're going to get with Jared Goff. I like Fernando Mendoza's, his ability to just remain calm under pressure, to process the entire field, make the throws, but not at the cost of, like Jake was saying, I'm not throwing 4 first-round picks to get Fernando Mendoza. If you're picking 5, you do maybe a 1, a 2 this year, maybe throw in, another 2 next year, especially if those top 3 teams don't need a quarterback. But I just don't see Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn passing up a quarterback. I don't think they can. To your point, Jake, I don't think Woody Johnson's going to allow it. And I think just to keep Woody Johnson off their back, they're going to have to get a quarterback this year.
Yeah,
I just don't see any other.
Yeah, Frank, how do you sell to the fan base, hey, we have no rookie quarterback that we feel good about going forward? Now, maybe it's, they do what the Saints did. It's someone in the 2nd round if they can't get one of these guys in round 1 or they don't feel comfortable taking them. But I find it hard to believe that a team that acquired all these picks is not prepared to be aggressive to use some of these said picks to get their guy. It just connect the dots. Like I'd be stunned if the Jets are not drafting a quarterback with one of their first round picks this year.
Right, and
Jake,
I think the big thing is that you're going to hear about it closer to draft time because we always hear about interviews. We heard about the Shedeur Sanders interview. I think you're going to put Fernando Mendoza on the whiteboard and draw plays. And I think you're going to hand him a playbook, and I think that kid's going to rip through them. I think the recall of those plays is going to be really, really impressive. And to Frankie's point, you play him if you feel he's ready and you feel that he can handle the offense. You could simplify it, if you're Tanner Engstrand, especially if you bring Breece Hall back. You don't have to worry about your offensive line. You have 2 bookend tackles now. You have a number 1 with Garrett Wilson. You have Mason Taylor, who's coming along and playing well. I'm not sold on Mechie or A.D. Mitchell, but, if you feel like he aces that whiteboard test, I know whiteboard is different than, seeing it on the field, but I think he's going to be one of those kids where they sit down and interview with him and he's going to blow them away. I think he's just going to really be able to pick up that playbook. And listen, to your point, you don't accumulate all those picks to pass up on a quarterback, not after a year like this. I just don't see it.
Frank, good call. Frankie, is Mendoza clearly your number 1 QB at this point?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's the cleanest quarterback at this point too. Like he doesn't really have any weaknesses in his game. And I know his feet, he can be a little slow in the pocket, but he was only sacked 18 times this year, which is nothing in terms of, for a college standard there. So I like him, man. Listen, not my favorite quarterback I've ever scouted. He's not even probably top 10, but I think he'd be perfect here. I really do. I do. I think he'd be somebody that you can build with. And I think
he's got a high floor. I'm sick of the guy that
I want a high
upside.
Floor. I'm done with the high ceiling, man. Yeah. We did that with Zach Wilson. Darnold actually starting to hit his high ceiling. We just, didn't put the proper time in, or it just wasn't going to work here. Like, go with the high floor. Go with someone that could play the position, man. I mean, I just looked before we posted on U Stadium QBRs from yesterday. Brady Cooks last. Tyrod had like a 0.0. Like, I'm just sick of watching this crap. Justin Fields, 52 passing yards. 1 game, net negative passing. Like, enough, man. Get someone that could play. Tanner schemes it up. Win some damn games. You have a good offensive line. He'll become a leader there. He'll get people involved. You're not going to have games where Breece doesn't catch a ball. I mean, like, whatever. Yeah. Does Dante Moore have a higher ceiling? Yeah, he does. Is Dante Moore going to be ready to play in a year or two? I don't think so. He reminds me of Jordan Love a little bit. I think he's better off sitting somewhere for a year or two. I said it also about CJ Stroud, Jake. I thought his skill set should have sat for a year now. He just came in and lit the world on fire, and he thought he had it all figured out, but he didn't realize he had to take a couple steps back and do the things that I didn't see him do on tape. And a lot of pundits also mentioned that he wasn't so clean in what he was doing. He has a big arm. He's very athletic, but he misses some throws and he doesn't see things correctly. Mendoza does all that stuff already, man. Where he lacks is maybe he's not coming out and throwing for 340 yards, but he doesn't want to. He just wants to win football games, man. I'm just serious. Like, he just makes the throws he needs to. He's not trying to impress anybody. He's not a show off kind of quarterback, but he wants to win. And I feel like he's a camaraderie guy. I think he's weird because it's the other things that I like about him versus, the one thing that we all love about quarterbacking, which is chucking it all over the yard for 350 yards. Like, it's kind of not his style, really, which I'm fine with. That wasn't Jake. Tom Brady came into the NFL. He was a game manager when he started. Ben Roethlisberger was a game manager. They eventually broke through and they propelled, but it's not like Brady at Michigan was throwing for how many yards? Like, so, I mean, it's fine. I think he's got the intangibles that we need, dude. We need a leader too. Like, forget about the quarterback position on the field. We need somebody in the locker room that's going to love football and want guys there and be a motivator. I don't know if Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, I'm not getting that they're like Mendoza. To me, they're not. They seem like great guys, and I'm sure they're going to be good quarterbacks. But this kid's got something a little different.
I like his floor. He's played the most.
Yeah,
He got the size, the accuracy. There's some risk with any of these guys, but again, when people talk about trading up and they say, "Oh, 4 first rounders," like that's just made up. That's not real. There's like you can't tell me that exists at this point, given you don't know how many other options there'll be that are also first round worthy guys, and given the fact, Frankie, that to this point we don't know the order because the draft order is going to change a lot. The Jets, if they finish 3-14, won't be at pick 7, so it's going to be a lot easier to move from 3-1 with Tennessee or 3-1 with the Giants than it is to go from 7-1 right now. This is going to change a lot between now and the end of the regular season.
Yeah, I hope, Jake. I think, and you might think I'm nuts for this. Wouldn't be the first thing I said that you thought I was nuts saying, but I think the Giants, man. I think that's the team. They're right across the street. We play in the same stadium. Muji, get your ass there. Start talking to Joe Shane. You guys literally are in the same press box, basically. You guys work next to each other. Start getting those convos moving, man. They don't need a quarterback, the Giants. If you can tell them, hey, you're going to drop back, you're going to get either Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon, who I have at like 1A, 1B as wide receivers, like they might want to just go back, or maybe they want to pick up, Caleb Downs. But, if we're at picking 5th, talk to the Giants, man. Like, they're right there. They have a quarterback. Tennessee, too, obviously. But, they're right there. Make a deal happen. Throw a player in. They might like someone, the Giants, that you have. Give them I don't know. Maybe you have to trade them Tippmann. I'm just saying. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just saying, maybe there's a guy that they need. They need a guard. Trade him Tippmann. Trade him a first rounder. Give him a second and move up and get Mendoza. And we'll draft a guard later on. I'm just saying,
I don't think it's going to be players in this deal. I think it would just be draft picks.
But Jake, they're starting to do that. These young GMs, it's different. I'm telling, the Bryce Young trade. They included, DJ Moore. I'm telling you,
that was to go from 9-1. Like the Jets, I don't think would have to go from 9-1.
Yeah, I'm just saying, the way that it used to be, where it's strictly picks. These GMs are being a little bit more creative now. I agree with you. It's probably not going to include a player, but I'm saying if the Giants want someone that we have on our roster that's interesting to them.
Jamie and Sherwood, enjoy him. Take that contract.
I mean, they do need a linebacker.
We're presented by Chubbies. More of your calls in a moment. But, folks, Chubbies, I've been living in my Chubbies gear lately. They're everywhere pants have basically become my daily uniform. They're lightweight, durable, water-resistant, and they somehow work for every part of my day, whether I'm running around the city or just chilling, watching a Jets game. Holidays coming up. Chubbies is exactly what you want in your rotation. If you want to look sharp when you meet the family or show up for those holiday parties, Chubbies has you covered. Their flannels, quarter zips, jackets, all of it is incredibly comfortable. And let me mention this. They do have an NFL line. I've been rocking the Chubbies Jets polo shirt on the show throughout the season. They have every team. So even if someone in your family, a friend, is not a Jets fan and you want to get them some gear, you can check it out all on the Chubbies website. I got a promo code for you that's going to get you 20% off your purchase. Go to chubbyshorts.com. The promo code is ASMANNY. You'll see it's linked in the description. So go support the show and tell them that we sent you. Again, holiday season is here. Grab the gift for someone in your life that is important to you. ASMANNY at checkout. Shout out to Chubbies for sponsoring today's show. All right, let's
I just want to let you know something. You do a great job with ad reads. You actually got me. I didn't buy it yet, but I went on that Ridge Wallet thing.
Yeah.
I started looking at them because I have the Air Tag. So I'm like, all right, I lose my wallet religiously.
Right here, baby. Gotta get it right.
There you go. Is there an Air Tag? Yeah, I gotta get the Air Tag. But your ad was good enough where I actually was watching your show. I opened up another tab. I was a little expensive, a little bit, but hey, got the promo code. It's
boom. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows where this one is headed? Hold on, let me adjust because StreamYard's acting up. All right, warning.
Warning, warning, Allen alert. Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning, Allen alert. Hide the children.
Frankie V, I've always been a fan of yours until some of the takes that I've heard in the last 2 minutes. Okay? So you're trading a 24-year-old guard to move up. Really?
No. Listen,
You just said you want to. You would put him in the deal. Really?
No. What I'm saying is this: when you have the team you share a stadium with, you see them all the time. If they wanted, let's say, a guy like Joe Tippmann, they wanted him. Let's just say, oh, we need a guard. The Giants need a guard. They need offensive linemen to help dart and to start a running game that is non-existent, really. Maybe you throw someone in like Tippmann. I'm not saying I would. I'm saying that might make up for giving them another second round or a first. Like, I'm just saying, like,
Frankie. Okay.
Yeah.
The Jets have the 4th pick in the draft. Let's say this, okay? And the Giants have the 1st pick in the draft, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Giants, and let's say Moore goes back to school, okay? So it's Mendoza and Mendoza alone, okay? If you're the Giants, at minimum, I ask for 3 number 1s. At minimum, because there's nobody else. Again, supply and demand.
Well, they're not going to get that.
Why would
Alan.
the Giants take anything less?
Because who else is offering them anything?
Because
close?
there'll be other teams offering.
Name me the team that's offering
you'd
3
have to
picks.
assume that, Alan. You'd have to
The
assume
Raiders
that,
or the Browns.
Why would the Raiders trade away their first this year and 26 and 2028?
Because
Tell me,
they're
Alan.
desperate for a quarterback.
And the Jets are desperate too, and wouldn't trade that.
So much ammunition, they could wait 1 more year to get their quarterback.
They cannot wait 1 more year.
Again, Frankie.
On October 5th, you said you would do anything in your power.
I never said I would trade up for the guys. I said if the Jets tanked, then they could pick the player at the spot.
Well, they're going to finish with the number 3 pick in the draft, Alan.
Any ammunition to go get a quarterback. Never.
You hypothetically coming up with the idea 3 first-round picks, it's going to cost to go get a quarterback. Please. Come on.
It will.
It will not. It will not. If the Jets are at 3 or 4, it's not 3 ones to move up 2 or 3 spots. It's not.
Listen, I'll say this. Hold on. Let me say one thing, Alan, to your point. I agree with you that they're going to start asking for that, obviously. I don't think they will get that, though. I think it'll fall to 2. Your swap and then the extra 1 and then another 2 probably. But if I had to guess.
No one's trading 3 firsts for Fernando Mendoza. This is not Trevor Lawrence.
Again, as I said, if he is the only guy in that top 5 list, again, I'm saying Moore goes back to school and it's only Mendoza. You know what the package will be to go get a guy if they think he's a good quarterback?
Who's giving that package up, though? It doesn't exist.
The Browns can give that up.
No, they're
the
not.
Rams could give that up.
Why would the Rams do that?
Because the Rams have a top 10 pick that they never thought in a million years they would have a top 10 pick.
And they'll have their first pick as well, which is in the back end of the draft.
Pick to get a quarterback. They have a gift of a top 10 pick.
I love how you come up with any scenario that stops the Jets from getting a quarterback, rather than just accept the fact the Jets might want to take Fernando Mendoza and they're armed with the resources to get him that wouldn't hamstring their franchise anyway.
Frankie, here's another comment, okay? You and I believe the 2027 draft is gold right there, the first round, okay? You don't want to touch any of those picks. If you're the Giants or if you're Tennessee and you're
going to want one of those picks.
We want the best of those picks.
I mean, yes.
You know how fast I would hang up the phone?
I listen, I understand. But this is the thing.
You cannot trade any of those picks.
Listen, but if they want to make a deal, though, if there's no real suitor out there and they want to make a deal, they're going to make a deal. I'm just saying. And they're going to get the Jets draft position. So, like, you're bringing up the Rams. The Rams are going to drop back a few more spots. You might want Caleb Downs in that pick swap. I'm just saying, like, you got to consider where the Jets are picking to, which obviously we don't know yet.
No, he doesn't consider that, Frankie, because that would require logic. Oh, the Rams have a top 10 pick. Great. The Jets are giving them a chance to go from 1 to 3. They rather deal with the Jets because you have to evaluate how many blue chip prospects are in line and how far down they could go to still get the player they'd be coveting that wouldn't be a quarterback.
Frankie, do you think Mendoza is a franchise quarterback? Really?
He's already said he does.
You do. I just started listening to the show.
Listen, I think he has all the ingredients with his personality and intangibles that I look for in a franchise quarterback. And I think he's good enough right now as a quarterback. He barely hits that bar, though.
What's his ceiling? What's his ceiling, Frankie?
His ceiling to me is
Matt Ryan.
I mean, dude, if he's Matt Ryan's ceiling, that's
And
phenomenal.
what's his floor?
That'd be amazing.
I think his ceiling's a little bit above like a Kirk Cousins.
I think that's his floor. I do.
It's pretty
So
good.
I'm
That's
not
fine.
kidding.
It's around there, which I'm like prime Kirk Cousins, I think, but even a little bit with better intangibles because Kirk kind of would get a little hectic at the end of games and throw games away. I think he could be like a little bit of a better Kirk Cousins that isn't crazy and making these
And then
ridiculous
you're
throws.
trading all that capital for Kirk Cousins.
What do you mean all that capital? You don't even know what the capital would be yet. What if it's the Matt Miller trade proposal we covered? The Colts picking a second rounder.
Alan,
no idea.
Let me ask you a question. How many quarterbacks have been drafted in the last 5 years that you can confidently say are better than like a better Kirk Cousins? Like, there's not that many, man. People aren't in love with a lot of quarterbacks. Quarterback plays down the whole year, man. There's like 4 or 5 guys, and the 8th best guy is as good as the 16th at a point. I think play calling matters. You give him the O-line. Yeah, Alan, it's not Joe Burrow. It's not
even Drake May. It's not Drake May.
Yeah, but Drake May's really damn good, man.
Yeah, he's really damn good.
That draft was good, and Jaden's really damn good, and Caleb. Those 3 I agree with on a prospect level are better, but man, it is what it is at a point. Like, what are you going to wait for Joe Burrow or Drake May to fall out of the sky? Wait.
And finally, if you're the Giants, and you're in the same building and you know the friction between Mara and Woody Johnson, you think the Giants are not going to ask for the farm? You think the Giants are going to hand them Fernando Mendoza?
I'm done listening to you, Alan. Leave. It's enough. You love to come up with a doom and gloom scenario that hasn't even happened yet. It is just mind-boggling. You think the Giants or the Jets, there's just no way they could make a deal. I think the Giants aren't even going to finish one with the number 1 pick. But if they do, they'll make a deal with the Jets if the Jets are willing to offer them a legit trade package. Because if the Jets are at 4 and the Giants can go from, let's say, Frankie, 1 to 4, that's great for the Giants because they're still getting a blue chip prospect and they're still staying in range to get that. You know what I've been trying to say? Like, they're still getting a really good player at 4.
I mean, listen, Woody and Mara, they got into a partnership at that beautiful MetLife Stadium there. So I mean,
there's no reason they couldn't make a deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he's like, oh, they're going to ask for an arm and a leg and all this. It's like, great, man. That's awesome that they're going to ask for a lot. That doesn't mean they're going to be able to get a lot. Like, and Allen's entire goal is to paint scenarios that haven't come to light and for the Jets to stay as bad as possible. So he wants to wait till 2027. A year from now, he'll say wait till 2028 when 2027's quarterback class flames out and is not as good. Remember, this year's quarterback class was supposed to be unbelievable. Dan Orlovsky, the morning after this year's draft, listed all these names on how loaded this class is going to be. And there's one name on here that lived up to it. One, Dante Moore. I don't see Mendoza's name on here. So they cannot wait till 2027. And the idea that it would cost 3 ones. No. And the idea that it would cost 3 ones to move up a couple spots is so stupid, man.
I mean, listen, I'm not even listen, anyone can make a tweet like that, right? It's just, to your point, you don't know. The smart thing, sorry to cut you off, Jake, the smart thing is do it both years. Like, listen, take a swing at the quarterback. And then take a swing at the quarterback again next year.
Yeah,
but
let's take another one in 27. If it 26,
I'm starting to like. The more I look into Mendoza, man, the more I watch him actually play and finish football games. It's not flashy. It's not Joe Burrow-ish. It's not Josh Allen-like. It's not Patrick Mahomes. He's a old school kind of quarterback, just a big boy back there, kind of weird and awkward, but he gets the ball where it needs to go when it needs to get there. He does. He gets the ball where it needs to go when it needs to get there. We saw it last game. Biggest throw of the game. He made that perfect throw right over the shoulder. He throws the best back shoulder ball in football, by the way. So you want to talk about Fernando Mendoza, he throws the best back shoulder throw in the game. That's a great red zone play for most NFL quarterbacks, and he probably does it better than anybody in college. And when he gets into the NFL, he'll probably be right up there throwing that back shoulder. Get him a few receivers. You got Garrett. You got A.D. Mitchell. That back shoulder will be beautiful in the red zone. Yeah, he's not Joe Burrow. He's not Drake May. He's not Caleb Williams. Although Caleb Williams is kind of all over the place. He's not, but I don't care. Like, I'm not looking We can't look for Joe. You want Joe Burrow? Call Cincinnati and ask for him, and they'll laugh you off the freaking phone. Like, I'm just saying, like, not everyone's built the same. It's
Allen is so desperate, though, Frankie, because you got to understand, like, he's changed his opinion in the last couple months so many different times because the opinion only shifts based on what prevents the Jets from getting a quarterback. So he went from, he won't trade anything to now it's, well, the Jets and the Giants, they can't possibly do a deal. And it's just like, he'll just come up with anything that just try to perpetuates this narrative that the Jets can't get their quarterback. When on October 5th, Lenora Sellers was his number 1 rated quarterback, and he loved him, and the Jets had to take him if they were in position to get him. Like, he just doesn't ever want them to get a quarterback. You can't live that way. You have to get a quarterback. You have all these extra picks, and it doesn't cost 3 first-round picks to move up from number 4 to number 1 or number 2. It just doesn't. That's not what the history of the NFL shows you. And now he's like, oh, the Rams could make this deal. Oh, okay, and the Jets could beat all these teams. And if they believe in Mendoza, they will. Like, that's the whole point. They control the draft with all the picks they have. And if they believe, like how you feel about Mendoza, they feel strongly about him, they're going to get him. I don't think it's that complicated.
You know what the head coach said, Kirk Cignetti? You know what he said about Mendoza? Nick actually mentioned this the other day. Nick Spano from U Stadium. He listened to Kurt, his post game. I don't know if it was after this last game. It might have been, or a few games ago. He said, there's a lot more to unlock with this kid. And our game plans a lot of times restrict him from doing some of the things that he's capable of doing in terms of that ceiling. Meaning, like, you look at his game logs, how many attempts he has. He's thrown over 70%, right? Completion, but like, he's not throwing a lot. Like, they have a more constricted, like, you know, traditional kind of offense there where they like to run the ball. They like to take efficient, you know, plays in the passing game. They're not dropping him back there 28 to 30 times, letting him just sling it around. And Kurt was saying, based on what he's seen in practice, that there's going to be an NFL team that's going to be very happy because they're going to see how much this kid can actually sling it all over the yard. Now, again, you're taking a chance there, and the head coach is always going to talk up their quarterback, especially a guy that looks like he's going to win the Heisman. But I can see it, man. I can see it. He fits the bill. He's the best quarterback in this draft. He just is. I'm a fan. Am I a huge fan? No, I'm not. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan enough to give up another first-round pick for him.
That's why you have 5 over the next 2 years. You could trade one of them.
2 more first-rounders in the swap. We're going to have to sit down and have a conversation, and I'm going to have to be convinced at the table. But one more
Colts losing more and more, Frankie, helps the Jets immensely.
Of course it does.
Cannot overstate that, because if you want to package the Colts pick and your own pick, that trumps Cleveland's offer because they have 2 1s, but it's the Jaguars pick, which wouldn't be as high. That trumps the Rams offer because they have Atlanta's pick that wouldn't be as high. And by the way, I don't think the Rams are going to do that. So I don't think we have to worry about that. But of course, Allen will bring that up as a reason why the Jets can't get their quarterback. It's bullshit. If they love Mendoza, he's going to be a Jet if Tennessee or the Giants are picking number 1 overall. Like, it's clearly set up for that to happen if they like him.
Yeah, if they like him that much too, there's going to be a bidding war. So they're going to call the Titans. Let's say the Titans will say, hey, you know, we got the Browns on the other line, or we got the, you know, Raiders, you know, calling us about Mendoza. They want to do this and this. Would you be willing to do this? I mean, it's going to be a back and forth. And then if the Jets like him that much, I think they're going to pull the trigger on him. You know, I do. And at this point, like, I know you spoke about this earlier. I kind of caught your show a little bit with Joe earlier today. Like, fucking lose some of these games, please, so we can be in a better position to get this kid.
I think they are.
Like,
how are they winning games?
I'm not even going to kill Aaron Glenn. Sorry for losing these games. I didn't even mention Aaron Glenn the last 24 hours. I don't care. Get this season over with. Get the draft pick. Get the quarterback. We'll talk about him in the offseason. I don't whatever. Sorry, I cut you off. But
no, you're the man, Frankie. I appreciate you hopping on today.
Appreciate you, brother.
Frankie V from U Stadium with us there. Let me get caught up on the super chats, and then I will definitely get to your calls if you're on hold. I promise I'm coming to you shortly here. Appreciate everyone tuned in. I am as sick as a dog, so grinding through the show here, and it was good to get Frankie and Will on together, so I didn't have to talk as much. Jay with a super chat. Trade the Colts pick for another 1 and 3 next year. That quarterback and wide receiver class too good. I don't want to give up 2 firsts for Mendoza. We need too much to give that. I mean, if it's when people say it's 2 firsts, I think that's so misleading It's your own first. You swap with the team that has number 1, and it's 1 additional first. It's not 2 firsts. You know what I mean? Oh, it's 2 firsts. Well, no, it's 1 extra first. I would do that deal in a second. If I'm able to make the deal where it's my first, let's say the Jets are at pick 4 when it's all said and done. Maybe they're as high as 2 or 3, but realistically, I think they finish 3 in 14. They're picking, let's say it's 3 or 4. And the Colts pick is pick 15. Pick 3 and pick 15. If that's all it took to get the number 1, I'm doing it. I don't even know if it will take that. Because if Dante Moore comes out, all of a sudden it doesn't cost as much to move up if other teams have first-round grades on these guys. I'm doing it. And I'm not thinking twice about it. I still would have 3 first-round picks in 2027. And, Jay, I still would have 2 second-round picks this year. Not to mention I have $100 million in salary cap space this offseason. When everyone says we need too much to give that, they cannot acknowledge that multiple things can be true. You need a quarterback and you have other holes to fill. But none of it matters if you don't get quarterback figured out. And the quarterback, if you do get it figured out, can mask a lot of your deficiencies anyway. Bino says, in my opinion, Woody signed off on the Sauce and Quinnen trades because he was told we're going to get a quarterback in the draft. I agree. I've been saying that for months. Darth Crypto in the raffle for 2. Get the best wide receiver, trade back in from Mensa. I don't even know if you would need the trade back in for him. He might come out and you just draft him with one of your second-round picks. I don't know if he's definitely a first-round guy. Lou B writes in, can you walk us through how pick negotiations happen? When do they start? Does the team have the right to see other teams' offers? Can they lie and say, I got a team giving me double? Yes, yes, and yes. It starts whenever. I mean, the conversations really start Senior Bowl week, Combine. Go watch the Giants in-season or off-season Hard Knocks a few years ago. Joe Shade at the Combine went over to the Patriots luxury box at the Combine to talk to their GM about potentially moving up from 6 to 3. So these talks happen February, March, April, and then even on draft night, they obviously continue, Lou. And look, you could lie, but GMs will tell you that it's better to be transparent and honest because you don't want to burn relationships you have with other GMs. How about this from Mimosa? She's in the house. She was at the game yesterday, and even though the Jets lost, Mimosa, she told me that she was surprised with sweet tickets by her friend and got a chance to meet Vinny Testaverde yesterday. So I'm glad that you at least had that experience, Mimosa, because we know the game as a whole yesterday was absolutely horrendous. Mimosa, first things first, this is for you.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Yesterday was beyond embarrassing. I love the end zones, hated the uniforms. That's my stance on it, too. Keep the end zones, add some green to them. I think they were cool. Stadium was empty. I mean, empty. Even the Fins fans were leaving early. They handed out towels because they knew it would be a bleep show. Yeah, I don't have much more I could add to that, Mimosa. You're on the raffle for 10, by the way. Thank you, as always, for your support. I mean, it's sad, the state of this team right now. 15-year playoff drought, 3-10. That's why lose these last 4 games, be picking as high as possible, and let's give ourselves a chance to turn them around. Because I just don't see the value in winning games at this point. I wanted to buy into the incremental progress we were seeing from Glenn and company when they won 3 of 5. But they really weren't making any progress, because if you were making actual progress, you wouldn't have no-showed against a division opponent yesterday. You know what I mean? It's not just that the Jets lost yesterday, it's how they lost that I think is so alarming. It's not like they were competitive yesterday. They no-showed that performance. It was embarrassing. Famous Jay is in our raffle for 1. Thank you, Famous. That's actually the first gifted membership we've had all show. I'm going to gift one right now, so we'll be at 2. If you get one from me, you're going to be putting our raffle at the end here and our weekly raffle series tomorrow on the show. So let's get up to 2, and then we'll get right back to your outstanding calls. Membership gifted. It went to listener Jack Dooley. So, Jack, congrats. You're in the raffle for 1. Bang! Bang! More of your calls now, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
It's time.
Can you hear me?
We hear you, Kyle.
Okay. AirPods are working this time. I want to kind of take issue with something that you and Frankie were saying about a high floor guy. Just take a high floor guy. To me, if you're going to take a swing at a top 10 quarterback, you should be taking a swing, and it should be a big swing. That's just I think philosophically we're a little bit different on that. Like the year that Josh Allen came out, I said to myself, that's probably the guy I would like in this draft because I thought his upside was so great. Not an issue with it, just I think people look at it a little bit differently.
I think they just need to get it right? Like high floor, high ceiling, like draft a franchise quarterback. That's how they're viewing. They're viewing it in their evaluation.
I mean, the thing with us though is ultimately, if our goal is to get to a Super Bowl and we haven't been in 50 years, you'd like to get somebody who can elevate you and bring you there. So that's the only reason I think I think that way. The other thing I wanted to say is, well, one of two other things I wanted to say was, I think you almost got there when you were talking about the Giants and why they're not going to hold anybody up. They have to get the best offer from that spot.
And he picks.
It would be it's malpractice for a new GM to come in, and it will be a new GM to come in and not extract maximum value and petty grievances and personal issues between owners. I mean, divisional rivalries might figure in a little bit in extracting extra value, but I don't think that it would between the Giants and the Jets. If the Jets come with the best offer and the Giants are comfortable going back to whatever spot they're in, 3, 4, 5, then they're going to win. They're going to win the Mendoza sweepstakes, so to speak.
Well, the higher the Jets are picking, you're giving the Giants a better player as the quarterback comes off the board and then knocks down a blue chipper further to them. So if the Jets are at 4 and the Giants are like, oh, we can get Arvell Reese if we go from 1 to 4, we're in. Or we can get who's the Cornell Tate, the receiver, to put him next to Malik Neighbors. Oh, we're in. Like, they're not going to not make a deal because it's the Jets. Like, they play in a different conference. You're 1,000% right.
So many times as fans, we don't even think about what the seller's perspective will be. And we need to do that a little bit. The other thing is, in this year's free agent class, there are a lot of young safeties and linebackers, guys that are, second and third defense guys that might be available. So that's something that we need to look at when we get there. I mean, we've mentioned Leo Chanel on the show. I think that, Anzalone's a little bit older, but there are a couple of guys. There's a guy in Carolina and a guy, even like center. Even if Linderbaum doesn't shake out because it is expensive, there's a guy like Luke Fortner out of New Orleans. I think that guys that are, not real premium positions can be had in this free agent class. So that's something that you would look for as far as trying to bring the team up, augment the team, improve the team very subtly in those ways. And someone like Fortner might not break the bank. I don't know if a guy like Chanel is going to break the bank, but they would be improvements over what we've had in the recent past. So that's just what I wanted to raise. I'll talk to you soon, Jake. Feel better.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. I think the interesting thing with like the high floor, swing for the fence, I think we say that as fans. I think NFL teams look at it like, who's the best player? A comp I heard from Mendoza from Mike Tannenbaum on my radio show with him yesterday was Matt Ryan. We'd all sign for that. I've heard Jared Goff. We'd all sign for that. It's really hard to draft a good starting quarterback no matter where you're picking. If they hit on Mendoza and he's that level of player, I think you feel really good about it. Hey, huge shout out to Ron Weiss with a big-time contribution to the show, a $50 super chat from Ron. Ron Weiss, this is for you. Long time, Jake. After watching Mendoza's postgame last night, I think the New York media will have a field day with him if he does mediocre off the bat. Feel better, my man. I mean, look, any quarterback who comes to New York and struggles is going to deal with it from the media and the fans and the criticism. It's hard. You got to make sure that the guy you draft can handle playing in this market because it's not for everyone. Look what it did to Zach Wilson. Look what it did to Daniel Jones. Mendoza, I think, oddly enough, his personality actually works because I think he's just so focused on football that he doesn't really let the other stuff impact him. That's my read on him from watching him be interviewed a few times. We'll see. Mendoza is the flavor of the month. The one thing I want to say again, and I said this on the first show today. So Ty Simpson, everyone really liked him. And then really since the LSU game, he hasn't been as good. And he didn't play well against Georgia over the weekend. What if Ty Simpson plays great against Oklahoma in the college football playoff? He goes head-to-head with Fernando Mendoza in the second round. And let's say Alabama goes on a run. He looks really good. You know, like the perception on him as a prospect is going to change. Same with Dante Moore if he plays great for Oregon during the playoffs and comes out. So I think we're all just like talking about Mendoza like it's only a one quarterback draft. I don't think we know that yet. Remember Justin Fields was amazing against Clemson? Oh, he was a lock to be a Jet after that. Remember that? Well, Justin Fields was the fourth quarterback taken that year. He went after Trey Lance. So I just don't think we know. Keep that in mind. I think we've only kind of just scratched the surface on the quarterback talk. We've been talking about it, though, for so long because the Jets have been so terrible that we've done, months of quarterback discourse while the rest of the league is still fighting for playoff spots. And it's December 8th.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Jake, you're still powerful. How's that? Threw me against the wall.
Hello, Bob.
I hope you're feeling better. You got a cold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when how crappy I was lately, right? I got my Mucinex and it's working good. I'm back to I'm not crabby anymore. I feel better.
You growing out that beard?
Yeah, I got a shave, man. Yeah. So, what were the two quarterbacks you said that just could get Goff, or what's the other guy?
Goff. No, Jared Goff's not getting traded.
No, the other guy you said.
I wasn't. I was talking about Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the two NFL quarterbacks. For that two of them.
The two NFL quarterbacks.
You brought out Goff and the first guy you brought out.
Kirk Cousins?
Oh, it was Kirk Cousins. Okay. So
people were comparing Fernando Mendoza to Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. When Frankie V brought up that the Jets and the Giants to do something, what was the quarterback you have from Minnesota? What was his name?
The quarterback you have from Minnesota.
Yeah, and then you got rid of him.
Sam Darnold?
No, not Sam. No. Before Sam Darnold. It was a black guy. What was his name?
Geno Smith?
No.
Bobby, this is not one of your best calls. You have no idea what you're talking about here.
I know. I forgot his name, though. I wanted that guy on my team, but the Giants.
Oscar says Bobby half listens to the show. Leon says Bobby never has any knowledge.
Oh, who's that?
Yankee Rock says Bobby is always crappy.
Okay, well, would you call in and talk to me? I'd love to talk to you. Type right.
Gator says, what was the guy from the thing you said? Boomtown says Bobby, dude.
Hello, Boomtown. Oh.
Leon says, wish Bobby would jump the bones of research.
I just forgot the guy's name. Give me a break, kid. Oh, grandpa, whatever you are. I don't know. I'm Wednesday. I'm gonna get the shoe off. Hopefully, the stupid shoe I get off. I hope on Wednesday. Because this shoe is weird. It goes like that.
So now we're talking about your shoe on this call.
Yeah, well, I like you. I hope you feel better.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Yeah,
But-
you got to rest your voice.
well, if you knew what points you wanted to make before the call, I'd be well rested.
Right, I know. Well, you are sick. I want you to get better, my friend. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything? Salt water?
Liquor.
Oh, you drink liquor. All right, you get better, my friend, okay?
That's all you have?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's all I have. Yeah, okay. Well, you have a good evening, okay?
What if it's a mediocre evening?
Well, I want you to have a good evening so you get better.
Yeah, but what if I'm not capable of having a good evening?
I don't know. Get better. Take some medicine. And then you get better. All right.
Michael Vick?
Michael Vick? What?
Teddy Bridgewater?
That's it. Teddy
We're just
Bridgewater.
naming black quarterbacks now, seemingly.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. That's the quarterback I wanted. But the Giants didn't do that. They could have picked him up before he left to go. I think he went to the Saints. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted Teddy Bridgewater, but we didn't get him. So. Hey, one question about college, okay? Do you think Notre Dame should be in a conference? You think so or no?
I don't know if them not being in a conference is why they didn't make the college football playoff.
Well, I think they could have been in any other. What did they do? They just because they didn't make it, they could have been another bowl. They did it before. You know.
I think the problem for Notre Dame is that they lost head-to-head to Miami. That's why they missed the playoff.
Yeah, but they're not going to another bowl because they're crying their asses off. I don't know why. You?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's why they didn't make the college football playoff because they're crying their asses off.
I know the Miami beat them, but they should go to another bowl. Stop boycotting. I think that the word is boycotting the playoffs.
So you're sad that they're not going to a bowl?
Well, I'm not sad. I don't want them to just give up. They went to another bowl before. I think they went to the New York Pinstripe Bowl, didn't they? At Yankee Stadium?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think a couple of years ago. So why?
No,
yeah.
I wanted to jump up on you, asshole. She's very attractive.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump up on.
It's becoming a trend.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I kind of made up to him because I'm feeling better now. Mucinex cleans your lungs very good.
So you don't want to jump anyone's bones?
Oh, no. Remember when I asked to talk to Olivia or Olive Oil?
Indy Jet says Bobby's always grumpy since he started his own YouTube.
Oh, Indy Jets, how's the beer going down? Pretty good. What are you up to? You ate beer already? How you doing?
Are you saying beer or beard?
No, beer. He's probably have 8 beers already in himself.
I see.
Mm-hmm. He sits in his garage and drinks beer all the time. So shut up. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, I think Notre Dame shouldn't boycott it. Go to another bowl game at least, You had a good... If we didn't lose the 2 games at the beginning of the year, it would have been better. I think we only lost by 4 points, something like that. All right, Jake, I hope you're feeling better. I really do. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, one thing, Olive Oil. Remember I asked you I could talk to her?
I was there.
Yeah, and then you said I could, but I had the bronchitis. Do you think I could talk to her this Friday?
I don't know.
Why not?
Gary might not like that.
Well, I don't care what he thinks. We're friends, remember? He said even her father watches me. So, remember that?
I'll see what I can do. All right, Bob?
Yeah, well, you asked. Okay, if not, I tried. Okay, I hope you feel better. I do.
Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate you.
Well, I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Unless Jake has a show, I'm Bobby.
Kyle Clifton with a super chat. Jake is like a ginger secretariat. or Seacrest. What is that? Can't stop working to rest. Did I read that? Did you mean to say secretary, or did I just put that in my head, Kyle? Can't stop working. Can't stop working to rest. Bridgewater, Bobby. I guess Bobby was referencing Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. I've heard a lot of Bob calls. I wasn't really following any of that, but I was just along for the ride. Mimosa says Mendoza was on McAfee today. I think he'd do fine in New York. He's stronger than we think. Loves the game, violence, physicality, has high football IQ. I wouldn't be upset with that pick. I think he's the best quarterback available. I'm also not going to sit here and act like if they took a different quarterback, it means that guy couldn't work out. History shows you very often the first quarterback taken, a lot of times ends up not being the best quarterback for that draft class. So I'm open to a bunch of different paths if they include getting the quarterback in the first round this year. Or maybe he meant Ryan Seacrest. Okay. That went right over my head, Kyle. I appreciate you. Gator writes in, there might be other quarterbacks that rise up the board between now and when Bobby showers again. Fair points. All right, a few calls left. Last chance to enter the raffle. We have the weekly raffle tomorrow for the Namath helmet, Mangold football, and CJ Mosley helmet. All three items signed by the players I just mentioned. This next call features a brand new intro. Ladies and gentlemen, he went from having 0 intros to now having not one, but 2 unique intros.
Gator, where is my intro? I need a cool intro. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You did intros for Papa Jet, and Adam is too cool. I'm worthy of an intro, Gator. I don't understand why I don't have an intro. You suck, Gator. You really suck.
Gator, you outdid yourself. Gator, you outdid yourself, buddy. I like it. I like it.
Rob, this is the fastest anyone has ever gotten 2 unique intros. So you've made history, my friend.
I made history, my buddy. I think I deserve it. I've been diligently watching you for 4 years, and I do show up to most of your watch parties. I'm almost going to miss Jake if you don't have at least one more. I doubt you're gonna, but I'm actually going to miss if you don't have at least one more like watch party, like maybe the New Orleans game would be a good watch party down in the same place that you had in the city, that Cookies. That was actually good spot. Good spot.
You mean Goldies?
Goldies.
Cookies. I got news for you. I don't think we're doing any more watch parties for this year. The next big event we do, Rob, will be something around the draft, probably a big draft party.
All right. But I mean, that was a good time at the other place there. That was good. But thank you, Gator. I appreciate the time and effort for that intro. That was good. I guess I'm just kind of leaving off where I started. I had a bad connection, so I figured I'd just call back on the second show. Surprised that you're in because it looks like you were hurting, Jake. But I think Peter Castro put a little pressure on you there, saying that he would be bored if you didn't make a second show. Correct?
He did. And I didn't want to disappoint the great Peter Castro.
You can't do that, Jake. Peter's the man. But so I understand that. But I guess I was just more wanted to make the point, I guess, about Mendoza. You know, obviously, you know that I want Mendoza in the worst way. And I was just saying that Mendoza, you know, Alan was saying that he wasn't big in any big games yet. You know, he played well at the end of the Penn State game. So it was only a small part of it. But yet, against Ohio State, which the way they were going, they might have repeated back-to-back national titles. So, you know, they beat a significantly really good team. And I know that their defense, Indiana, played really well. But then you got to give credit to Mendoza. Mendoza, outside of throwing one interception, he came right back with pinpoint accuracy. Because to me, Jake, I think he has a really good arm. What do you think on the arm?
I like Mendoza as a prospect. I think he's accurate. He's got the size. I think he's a better athlete than what like the narrative was about him. Like I think he can make all the throws. I think he skates pressure well. I think he's a totally reasonable quarterback prospect, and I would have zero issue if the Jets traded up and got him. I think you got to give to get, and I don't think it's going to cost nearly as much as what some have already speculated it would. I think it's reckless to speculate on 3 ones for the Jets to move up for a guy that I don't think they would have to trade that if they're picking in the top 5 to begin with, which I expect them to be picking now that they're probably going to start Brady Cook for the last 4 games here.
I agree. I think, Jake, the way it's looking right now, chances are we're not going to win any more games. I mean, a slight chance against New Orleans, but that game is in New Orleans, and New Orleans just won a big game against, who did they just beat? Was it Tampa? Did they just beat?
New Orleans beat the Bucs. Yep.
Yeah, and Tampa's a good team. That's pretty impressive. And Shook doesn't look like a bad quarterback. He might develop into something. So New Orleans, it's not guaranteed New Orleans is going to pick someone. And you know what, Jake? We got to keep our fingers crossed, and we got to kind of hope that Shador keeps playing well. Because if he keeps playing well and Cleveland buys into it, then they're probably not going to go for a quarterback. And it's more for us, And again, it's going to be large if Dante Moore comes into the mix. Because if you have at least 2 of those guys and we lose the rest of our games, chances are, like you said, we're going to be in at least the top 3, top 4 of picking. One of those guys is going to fall to us. My preference is Mendoza, but would I be happy with Dante Moore? Yes, as long as we have a good quarterback coach. We go out there and get somebody with a legitimate name who knows how to work with quarterbacks. If Aaron Glenn is going to remain on this team, and it looks like he's going to, go out there and learn from your mistakes. Let's get a real quarterback coach with experience, good reputation. Let's go out and get a new defensive coordinator. Now, I'm not out on Tanner Engstrom yet, Jake. A lot of people dislike him. I'm like in the middle. I see some good things about him, but people can't really evaluate a guy who has no quarterbacks. I mean, look at the quarterbacks he's worked with. So I don't blame it all on Tanner Engstrom. Has he made mistakes? Sure. Brees has to be out there on 3rd down, 4th downs. That was a mistake on his part, which I think he's going to learn and very well. But I would give Tanner another shot. I would. I don't think I would clean up and get rid of him also. What do you think?
I think Engstrom has not been great at times. I also think he's not going anywhere, and I am excited about the possibility of him having a legit quarterback that could actually, to quote the owner, complete a pass. Because I don't think Fields was a good fit from the beginning, and I think Tyrod is a 36-year-old backup at this stage of his career. I think Engstrom has done enough where I'm okay with him coming back, but I would like to see the offensive staff around him adjusted.
What are you looking at, Jay? Because I'm definitely in agreement with getting a second experienced bridge guy. Are you looking like a Gardner Minshew or like Neil says, going for Tyler?
Minshew, Marcus Mariota, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like the options aren't great.
Any preference on gun to your head? The 3 that you just mentioned. If you had to take just one, which one would you take?
I guess I would lean with Mariota or Minshew. I'll say Minshew.
Yeah, I like Minshew.
Again, I don't like the options. They're not great. That's why I think they're going to take a quarterback in the first round.
I think they have to, Jake. I mean, it's kind of silly. I mean, Allen, I don't know this crap he's talking about going for 2027, or you can't like give up any capital. Like, like we said, if you trade in on your first round pick and then you go and you add a first and maybe a second round pick, I think that's kind of doable. I don't think that's given too much, right?
I don't think it's too much at all. I think there's a limit. Like, I'm not trading 3 ones and then some to go from 5 to 1, but no. I had no problem using that Colts pick as the headliner of the deal, in addition to swapping obviously your 1 that you'd be using in the trade up.
I don't think it would cost 3 number 1s if we're in the top 5, Jake. If we're in the 3rd or 4th picking, why would that cost us 3 number 1s? I don't see that.
I don't think it will. I would love to know the example of it costing that much to go from 5 to 1 that teams have done.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But I mean, that's all I got. Just wanted to call back in, and hopefully, Jake, let's keep our fingers crossed that we finally do the right thing, and at least minimum accomplish one of the most hardest parts of getting a quarterback for the next 10 years that we can live with. I'd even take a guy who did as well as Chad Pennington. I'd be happy with someone that good, but healthy, of course. And I would be a happy camper. Somebody.
Hey, when Chad was healthy, the Jets made the playoffs. That was the big thing with him. Just got to be on the field.
I thought Chad was a really good quarterback. But we'll see what happens. Let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. Well, as maniacs, but.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I need an intro, buddy. A cool intro, please. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You got Adam is too cool, Papa 73, and I don't understand why you won't create one. Women.
You have no sense of humor. That's the problem.
I don't.
When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro.
I'm worthy of an intro. All right, fine. I don't understand why I don't have an intro.
Beast, you good? I saw you yawning there.
Yeah, well, it's the weather. But I don't like Allen's takes. Him trying to think to trade, dude. You don't know. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I've been looking at certain things that we're going to need. We're going to need.
Hey, Beast, I got the perfect guy to wake you up.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Honestly, Jake, can you guys hear me? Beast, how you doing?
I look very tired, and the weather here is pretty crappy right now. It's cold.
So true. It's cold outside. It's very cold outside, Beast. Let's talk about the Jets.
Try 21 degrees. But like I've said before, there are going to have to be 8 new draft picks we're going to have to go get because as it stands right now, as we speak, $3 billion is enough for everybody. The ice baths will have to be put in the locker room. 8 new draft picks we're going to have to go get, and we're going to have to go into the market and look for another quarterback because basically Justin the Crybaby Fields can't cut this job. Tyrod, he had a great run in life, but I don't see him sticking around. His time on the clock is up. He can't do it no more. You seen how banged up he looked? Did you see him? You see how he banged up?
Yeah, I saw him banged up.
It's time to say done. He don't have the leg strength, not like he used to. We got to rebuild on youth. We also need to rebuild on some key veterans that can still play this game and still got the balls enough to do the job correctly. We need another tight end, another wide receiver. We need lines on both the O and the D line, and we need to say goodbye to Wilkes. He's not fit for the job. He doesn't qualify. He's too lazy. He looks like he's lost somewhere in some jungle somewhere going, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how to get out of here.
I agree with you, Beast. And, the Jets are boring. Sleepy, boring styles. Honestly, Beast.
It's time to say bye-bye to him. Bye-bye to Wilkes. We need a guy that has a brain, a set of balls, and some guts, and turn this defense around. And
honestly, can you hear me, Jake? Oh man, let's talk about the Jets. So we play the Dolphins next week. We play the Jags next week. We're gonna lose. And the second point I want to bring on is the most delusional point I saw on TikTok this morning. I saw a post by Craig Carthen of New York Sports. He was talking about a trade. The Chiefs trade Patrick Mahomes to the Jets. Really? Are the Chiefs really going to trade Patrick Mahomes? No, they're not. Are you crazy? Just because the Chiefs are really bad this year, it means, we're going to trade Mahomes. No, Craig Carthen is just delusional. He's the most delusional sports I've ever seen. You don't trade Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League. The Chiefs are not trading him. Even if you want to trade for Patrick Mahomes, it'll be 11 first-round picks in entirety and a lifetime of giving away first-round picks,
I don't know, Mad Max. Richard Johnson says the Jets are going to check in on Patrick Mahomes.
I don't even know. Like Richard Johnson's delusional.
Richard Johnson would never make up such a thing.
Oh man. I mean, would it be? I mean, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League. I would like him, but you're giving away like 10 first-round picks, Jake. You know.
I'll offer them Jamie and Sherwood and Brady Cook in a 7th.
I'd be good, but like, do you think the Chiefs are going to take that deal, Jake? What do you think?
There's a chance. Anything's possible.
I think it's possible, but you know what? Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback ever. I mean, the Chiefs will probably want like 11
Yeah, but we're giving
picks.
them Brady Cook and Jamie and Sherwood in a 7th.
I mean, let's see if the Chiefs even take that deal. It might happen, Jake. I don't even know.
It could happen. Hey, your brother's on the line. What's up, James?
Can you hear? Jake? James, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you, James. Shame.
Who else is on the line?
It's a mystery.
Is Neil on the line? Is Neil on the line?
Nope.
Who else? Black Gypsy.
What's up, Jake Asman? How you
Yeah,
doing?
the roommate. Yeah.
I was going to say if Mad Max can sing "Moving Out" for you guys, a really good performance.
I would love to hear it again. It was very much in tune.
I want to hear it again.
Let's hear it again. Like obviously, let's
give it up for Mad Max.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jake Asman. Let's put the moving up on. Let's put the moving up. Oh
You
man,
can't actually put it on. No, I can't do this. See what happened to Green Bean? He played like a Beatles song in one of his videos, and they banned his channel for 3 months. So I ain't messing around with copyrighted music. But I appreciate you, man, Max. In the meantime, I'll check in with your brother, James B. Hello, James.
Can you hear me now, Jake?
Oh, I hear you, James.
I miss my little bro. It's all right. Hey, anyway, fun fact about my little brother: he spends too much time in his bedroom with the door locked. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, hey, that's family business, though. I didn't mean to bring that up. But Jake, guess what? First of all, you got to eat some chicken noodle soup if you haven't already. You know that's like the magic cure.
I know. Look, I had it for I had it for lunch. It will be a part of the dinner here, no doubt.
Absolutely, that's the number one thing you got to do. But bad news, I lost my wallet for the first time in my life. So
where did you lose it?
That stinks. At a Wawa. So a great gas station to lose it at, but
What happened? You just it fell out of your pocket.
you know, Jake, I travel for work, and I went in at night. It was late. I put the wallet down right next to the self-checkout, and I thought to myself, I remember thinking this, I can't forget to, pick this back up. And then next morning I woke up looking for my wallet, and I go, oh, shoot, I forgot to pick the darn wallet back up. So anyway,
Well, get
it's all right.
yourself a Ridge wallet. Support one of our sponsors, James. You'll get 47% off.
And that's where it all ties in. See, I was perfectly tying that into one of your sponsors.
Boom.
But no, I'm just going on a little run right now. I figured in about 8 months, I'll be ready to step in as the quarterback for the Jets. All I want to do is hand the ball off to Brees. Every time they call a pass, I'll audible to a handoff to Brees. That's about it. And it's the best case scenario for all of us. Then we can focus those first round draft picks on O linemen and just, position players for what's his name? Manning coming out next year, maybe. But I don't know. Anyway, I don't watch college football enough to really have a take on who I think looks good or bad. But I did go to University of Washington and got to watch Penix play. And I thought he would be a really good NFL quarterback. So I don't know. I think a lot of times these things seem to be kind of a crapshoot, if you know what I mean, with picking winners and losers. But I don't know. I'm not really quite certain on why some people think we can't we shouldn't trade up, or we should for a quarterback. And it's there are other positions out there. I know quarterback's the most important, but also keep in mind, these are pretty much all lottery picks. So I don't know. Do I want to give up 3 firsts or even 2 firsts? I don't know. I'm also not a GM. I just run and listen to the Jake Asman show for a living. So, all right, Jake.
I think it's a little too early for us to have the 3 ones or it costs this to move for this player. Like, I don't think we know yet. Again, it feels like we're burning ourselves out on the cost of trading up conversation so early already. The draft order is going to change a million times. The Jets aren't going to finish at pick 7 if they end up going 3 and 14. And right now, I think they're likely to go 3 and 14. So I think we just got to have a little more nuance to the, I don't want to trade 3 ones to move up. Well, good. You're not going to have to trade 3 ones to move up. That's not what it would cost. The big fella says Sam Howell's an interesting bridge choice. Sam Howell, another veteran and a rookie, I think is not bad. Tyrod Taylor, Sam Howell, Fernando Mendoza, not a bad situation going into next year. I'll live with that. The rookie's going to play. We know this. It's just a matter of having some bridge guys in case the rookie's not ready right away. And so you don't have to play the rookie right away. Right, Mad Max? Right. More of your calls right now. Josh is next on the show. Hey, Josh.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, Josh? Hey, great job with your Nets recap video. I saw that went pretty viral.
Thanks, Jake. Much appreciated.
You had my guy Evan Roberts quote tweeting you. Love that.
Yeah, I know. I actually that got a ton of stuff, but much appreciated as always. Had to check in here. First of all, get better, feel better. Always sucks. I'm an allergy person myself, usually in the fall, but sometimes I get it here and there. So good luck to you today, tomorrow. Mock trade. I don't want to talk quarterbacks because that's what everyone who's called in that I've heard talk about. And that's what's going to be in the next 4 months. Jake, in the offseason, Jets sending Garrett Wilson to the Buffalo Bills for a first and a second. I get it's a division rival. Who hangs up first?
Nope. Won't do it. Don't want to help the Bills. Don't want to trade our best receiver in over a decade to the Buffalo Bills. No way.
I would think about it.
A first and a second? They didn't even. They got two. They got 2 firsts for Sauce. Why would I take less to help a division opponent for a better player?
All right, 2 firsts.
Who's playing wide receiver next year, Josh?
I don't know, but you're getting 6 first-round picks in 2 years. That sounds
Great.
like to me
You're
like
going to
you
learn
should-
this as a youngster here. All right. The picks don't mean anything if you don't hit on them. They're not finding a better player than Garrett Wilson with any other draft
Of
picks.
course, but if you're talking about 3 first-round picks in each of the next 2 years,
Yeah, but the Bills pick is going to be at the end of the first round this year anyway. And if you hate the Buffalo Bills, which you should, don't
All
help
right,
them.
yeah.
Why would you give them Garrett Wilson?
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, are there
This
any
take
other
is
teams
so
that,
bad,
like,
you're making me sicker,
desperately need
Josh.
a wide receiver 1? Oh boy, you all right?
You're making me sick with this take. Sicker. Ugh.
Are there any teams that like so desperately need a wide receiver 1? Like,
The Jets need a wide receiver 1.
I'm talking about trade candidates.
Why would we trade Garrett?
Because this team wants to rebuild.
They are rebuilding. They have 5 first-round picks over 2 years.
So okay, so you wouldn't think about trading?
No.
your wide receiver 1
Why
at
would I
peak
trade Garrett?
value?
Josh, he's a team captain. They already paid him. He wants to be here. He's proven to be
They already paid Sauce. That clearly doesn't mean anything for this regime.
Yeah, because they got 2 ones for Sauce, and he's not an offensive player. And also the way they structured Sauce's contract, as we saw, allowed them to make that type of deal. Garrett's contract was not structured the same way.
All right, well, I didn't know that, but I
Josh,
was thinking,
what's the argument for trading Garrett Wilson? If you said, oh, we're rebuilding. Exactly. If you're going to have a rookie quarterback next year, who's he throwing the ball to?
I guess. Are you all in on Mendoza?
I like him. I like Dante Moore as well. I'm good with either of them.
He hasn't even officially come out yet, has he?
Neither has Mendoza.
Yeah, yeah. But like Mendoza's
January 15th
obviously
is the
going
day
more
for them
still
to
thinking
declare.
that. What was that?
January 15th is the day for them to declare. By the way, Common Country is calling you JJ for your take here. JD says, I think Josh left his brain in Maine while on vacation. Mimosa. Josh, I love you, but you don't trade Garrett Wilson for anything.
I would, if you got the right package, I would think about it.
But what are
Maybe
you
not the
getting
Bills,
for him?
right.
You didn't even
Maybe-
come up with a good package. You said a first and a second. That's not enough.
all right, maybe not the Bills, but like what other team is like? But I was just thinking like Bills-esque because they
Well,
don't have
you
a
have to
wide
explain to me
receiver.
why you would
But they
trade
have an
Garrett
all
Wilson. Josh,
because
who's
they have an
catching
all-time great
passes?
because the Bills have an all-time great quarterback in his prime, and
Right.
if you don't go in the next 3 years, they might never win anything with Josh Allen. So they're going to be keen to go all in on a receiver.
Yeah, but why would the Jets do it for a team that they're competing with
All
in
right,
the
all
same
right.
division?
Can we expand the package here, or is this just off the table with the Bills?
Well, you haven't come up with any logical reason why the Jets would trade away their proven number one bona fide wide receiver.
Because this regime just wants to completely tear it down.
But they've already torn it down in a lot of areas. Why would you get rid of a guy that this current regime paid?
Because this team is not a quarterback away. Look at how the defense played on Sunday. Like
Great, they're not a quarterback away,
that
but it
is
will certainly help. It will certainly
embarrassingly
help.
bad. Oh no, it'll help, but you're still talking about at least 3 years in the future.
No,
that
you're
we
not.
would-
No, you're not.
Yeah.
3 years,
You
Josh?
think
No,
this
you're
team
not.
competes before 2028?
I think this team could be in the playoffs next year if Fernando Mendoza is CJ Stroud or Jaden Daniels in year one.
I mean, you got to completely fix.
Why are you
line.
projecting 3 years out from now? How does that make any sense? Teams in the NFL turn around all the time. The Kansas City Chiefs, every year Patrick Mahomes has been a starter, have made it to the AFC Championship game. Until this year, they're going to miss the playoffs. Why are we projecting 3 years down from now?
Because, okay, this team. First of all, do we even know if Breece Hall is going to be on this roster next year?
I don't, but I think they're going to pay him.
Okay, you think they're going to pay him? What do you think's a fair contract for him?
I'd give him a 2 or 3 year deal worth around $12 million per season.
That's not terrible. I just don't want to tag him. Tagging is such an overpay there. Oh, and also AVT. Pay him backup money, bring him back 1-2 years. I don't even care if he's injured again.
Maybe 1 year prove it deal.
Yeah. Yeah, because if he plays, he's a Pro Bowl caliber guard.
But again, you've yet to come up with a legitimate, logical reason why trading Garrett Wilson would help the Jets in any way.
I mean, all I'm thinking is that I disagree with you that this could be a 1 year turnaround. Like maybe best
Say
best
it's
case
2.
scenario,
Garrett Wilson's going to be
but-
here for part of it.
Well, then if you think it's going to be a 1 year rebound, then
Josh, look at the
I
amount
don't
of picks they
understand.
have. Do you know how much
Then
salary cap space
yeah,
the Jets
well,
have
wait,
this year?
If they think it could be a 1 year turnaround, then I don't understand the logic of
Every
trading
year in the
Garrett
NFL could be a
and-
1 year turnaround. If you hit on the quarterback, you could turn it around quick.
Then wouldn't you want to have kept Garrett and Quinn at the deadline if you think it could be a 1 year turnaround?
They did
with a
keep
quarterback?
Garrett. They traded away
I
Sauce to
mean,
get
Sauce and Quinnen.
No, because I think if you could get 2 first-round picks for any non-quarterback, you have to consider it, and they got A.D. Mitchell in the deal. And that Colts trade looks brilliant now because the Colts pick's going to be in the top 15 this year, and who knows how bad they might be next year now.
Yeah, I mean, R.I.P. Daniel Jones. I mean, I feel terrible for that guy, but he's going to be free agent in the offseason.
Correct. Again, Josh, I thought you had a good take on the Nets game the other night. This has been an atrocious call all the way around.
All right. See you, Jake.
Goodbye, Josh. Like, dude, look, do I think the Jets are in the playoffs next year? No, because I don't have any faith in the head coach right now. I got to see a lot more. But we don't need to act like this is going to take multiple years if they hit on quarterback. Why would you get rid of Garrett? Who's catching passes? The appeal of putting Mendoza into the offense is that you don't need an offensive tackle and you don't need a receiver with any of these premium picks that you have. You don't need a number 1 receiver. I do think they should take a receiver early this year with their Colts pick or the second-round picks they have. But come on, man. That call really made me sick. Oh. Josh, I'm sick from that. Fibrows is next. Hey, Fibrows.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How's it going? My
I'm
bad.
sick as a dog after that horse crap call from Josh.
Well, first, yeah. I don't think it's gonna take 3 years, and I swear to God, I hope you're right. Next year we're back on top. But
I'm not saying that. I don't think they will be. I think Aaron Glenn's a terrible head coach, so I have major concerns with him. I hope he improves, but I can't pick the Jets to go to the playoffs as long as he remains the coach. But that's not stopping me from believing they can turn it around if they hit on the quarterback and he improves.
we've seen it happen like multiple times. So hopefully you're right. But first off, I want to say, I hope you get well, get better, get healthy. I saw you been like have a little cough, so Hope you feel better. Also wanted to talk about Shador a little bit. I know like this community doesn't really like mess with Shador, and I don't think we could trade for him at this point. But the only other rookie quarterback to throw for 3 touchdowns, rush for 1 touchdown, and throw for 350 yards in the rookie season is no other than Joe Burrow. So that's all I thought that was kind of interesting.
You realize they played the Titans, right?
I know.
And they lost the game.
I know, but this because Stefanski, it was a terrible, terrible call. 2-point conversion. I'm not JJ. I'm not going to say Justin Fields is awesome, but I do agree, like, Shador is
He's not going to be a Jet, though. I don't know why we've had so much Shador calls on the show. Like, who cares?
It's only because he was good, and we think, like, oh, maybe, like, if we actually picked him last year. But there's no shot. We have no shot to get him now. If he's the answer for Cleveland, then I guess it's good for us because I was watching your call earlier, your show earlier, and you were saying, like, at least, like, it means they'll skip on Mendoza, and we might have a better shot to get our quarterback. So.
Yeah, you want Cleveland to believe they have their guy in Shador. It helps the Jets if they're not in on the quarterbacks, 100%.
Yeah, I think they got their guy. I mean, we'll see, but I think I hope they got their guy. It helps us too. And yeah, as far as that trading Garrett Wilson take, we would need like 2 first-round picks at minimum to move him, and definitely.
And he wanted to trade him to the division, to the Bills. Why would you ever trade away your star receiver to a division opponent?
We would need 3 first.
There'd be a division tax on it at least 100%.
Yeah, and also Daniel Jones. That's so like I feel horrible for the guy, but like great for us. Like we might end up getting a high pick now, or a decently like a middle range pick. You know, we could get some. We could go defense and offense and be fine.
I mean, look, that pick right now is at number 18, and it could go as high as maybe number 11 or number 12, based on how the rest of the year shakes out here. I think it's likely to be in the 12 to 14 range based on recent NFL history. Teams that finish 8 and 9 are in that 12 to 15 range. If you look at the last couple of years as the sample size. So if the Jets have a top 5 pick and they have the Colts pick that's in the 12 to 15 range, that is a tremendous package you could put together to go up and get your quarterback and make a deal with the Giants or Tennessee if that's what it takes.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes me happy to think that they're about to be a playoff team. We get rid of Sauce. Everyone's upset. And now we have a chance to actually get we might get 2 elite players in next year's draft. I mean, it looks like a win for Muji already. So
yeah, I mean, look, the trade already looks great. They got to hit on the picks, obviously, but if they're using that Colts pick to get their quarterback, that's why you made the deal in the first place.
Yeah, 100%. But Jake, I hope you get better. God bless you, and let's call you next time.
Bye, bros. I appreciate you. All right, I'm putting together the raffle names here. We're going to give away a Jets Legends jersey. Keyshawn, Mangold, Revis, Wayne Corbett, Curtis Martin, Joe Klecko, and Joe Namath. Snake Plyskin wrote in with a 99-cent super chat. Snake, if there was a comment you meant to attach to it, type it out. We'll put it up on the screen. JD says Gorman must be devastated over his Colts. I just hope Gorman starts rooting for the Patriots next. I mean, honestly, you get, like the way the Colts season went up in flames post Sauce trade is astonishing. They're 1-3 since the trade. They lose Daniel Jones for the season, and now next year's impacted too with that type of injury. And he's a free agent, by the way. So while I think they bring him back, like, can they bank on him being the guy? What a mess. All right, I'm counting the names. We'll come back and we will spin the Wheel of Champions. But first, I leave you with a short clip to get you in the mood for the raffle.
I don't think people walked on the moon. Right?
Explain this then.
Yeah, you were there.
Half the other calls call in and tell Charles to get a job. But if I tell a woman to stop being loud, get a husband, and stop being a hoe, I've crossed the line, but telling Charles every day, he's fully aware that he needs a job. But I just wanted to go back at Briga. He's my least favorite person I think I've ever spoken to. And I mean that in a real way. How's it going, Dave?
You're far from extraordinary, my friend. You reach toilet ball levels calling me worthless, okay?
Of no value.
That's all I can say.
Just to clarify, of no, but by worthless, I meant of no value.
You're a valued person. All you do is condemn people.
I don't condemn anyone.
You condemn everybody all the time.
Who did I condemn?
Everybody all the time you're on there condemning
single
people.
person. That's one lie. Continue.
Hey, don't ever call me a liar. Fat mouth. Don't call me a liar, fat mouth, okay? Hey, I'm 32 years older than you, and I don't fear you one bit, buddy. You shut your mouth about me. You call me worthless. You crossed the line.
Conversation. This is going to
You're an idiot.
This guy doesn't listen.
I'm listening. Go on. I'm listening.
Talking.
Spout it out, bird brain.
Shut the hell up. If you want an answer, shut your mouth.
Say it.
What's your question?
What's your question? What's the question,
I don't
bird
have a
brain?
question. You asked me a question, you retard. This is what
You're
I'm
a
saying. It's
retard. You know what? I must
absolutely
deny
retarded.
your face
He
on
asked a
that
question.
wall.
I don't care
What
you
is
think
your
about
daily
anything.
activity?
I'm a
What do you
father.
do all day? What do you do all day?
When you ask a question, wait for the answer.
Okay, answer.
You're
I've
socially
asked. I'm
retarded.
waiting.
You're 74 years old. You have no
I'm
basic
waiting.
social skills. Just shut your mouth and stop talking. 74 years old and this socially
Well, go on.
retarded.
Hey, don't ever call me retarded. Hey, fat face. Don't call me retarded.
Stop talking. You're
Speak.
74 years old and no one ever taught you how to have a conversation? It's amazing.
You're just a provocative person. That's all.
So is Jesus.
Don't compare yourself to the Lord. You're far from it, my friend.
I'm like
Well, okay, that's great. Are you born again believer or what?
Of course I'm a born again believer. I was born again 13 years ago.
Good. That's good to know. At least you got one thing going for you. One thing.
I don't even like. I think you have a heart for Christ. I do. I just think you have no social skills. I think Christ can use you. I do. I think you have.
Oh, you know exactly. You know everything. You're a man of great value. The man that knows everything. The man that corrects people. The man that condemns people. The man that takes scriptures out of context on a daily
and
basis.
Bobby to get a job. You do that all the time. You do that
That's what they need. They need to have.
Why does Charles? Why? What says who?
Charles. Did you see the language this man used?
If Charles wants a job bad enough, he'll get a job.
Charles
He doesn't need you to hold his hand.
I'm not holding his hand. He needs to be productive in life.
I don't know what Charles does all day. I have no idea what he does all day.
I don't know what he does. Probably nothing. You know,
Charles. Charles is a grown man. He's not 16. He's a grown man. He knows what he needs to do.
He's not a grown man. He needs to grow up.
He's 32 years old or something like that.
He's 32. That doesn't mean he's grown up. Yeah, he may be sized up, but he's not mentally sized up.
If he wanted a job, he could go get a job.
That's what they're trying to get him to do. That's all.
He doesn't want to do it.
But he has to try. He's just wasting his life away.
Not only does he not have to try, he's not going to try.
He can't live like this forever.
He might get so desperate that he becomes motivated, but he's not at that point. I can't do it for him.
Well, we want the best for him, right?
I want the best for him. I'll pray that God blesses him with motivation. I'll bless that God blesses him with a job, but I can't make him go get the job. I can't go out there and get it.
He has to get to the point where he realizes that. You know, stop that terrible language. His language is horrid.
Fuck you, Dave Briga.
All right. Well, we don't have anything else to talk about. So
from the mouth comes an overflow of the heart.
Well, there you go.
Not you. You don't have a potty in your mouth, but people with a potty in their mouth have a sewer in their heart.
Well, yes, everything comes from the heart. So, all right. Well, take care of yourself.
Dave, be good. God bless you. I do think you have a heart for Christ. I do.
The Lord put it there, not me.
I agree.
It's all by the grace of God. So sin that remains, penalty's been paid for, dominion no more, but the sin remains. Okay? God bless. God bless everybody. Come to Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that Rumble had to have been Jesus Christ, right, Nick? I mean, that Rumble is so crazy. Because on one hand, you have two guys calling each other retarded. And then they end by praising Jesus Christ. And all was forgiven. Amazing. Truly amazing.
You know,
yeah.
I wanted to jump up on you, asshole. She's very attractive.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump up on.
It's becoming a trend.
What a show. All right. Are we ready for an Asmaniac raffle? I think we are. Let's bring on Bruce Fluffer himself to introduce the Wheel of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. It is time to spin the wheel of champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
All right, I'm coughing up a lung right now.
Telling the show, you idiots.
Hey, Beast, thank you. Okay, Robin Boy Wonders, I see you. I got you in the raffle here for one.
Hey, what's up?
He's the last recipient because I got to manually add him here. Robin, thank you for the support. I got you in for one here. All right, we are all set. Let me get some dramatic raffle music, please. Here's how this works. If you win, please email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. Your name, your address, your jersey choice, and the size you want it in. Again, it's a Jets Legends jersey, so pick between the 7 Jets players that we showcased during the show. Good luck to everyone. Weekly raffles tomorrow when we have Robbie Sabo on. Right now, we spin the wheel. And the winner is... Ron Weiss. Ron, congratulations, man. Always good to see you in the chat. Ron sent in a big super chat earlier. He's the winner. Give it up for Ron. All right. I appreciate you, Ron. Thank you to everyone who still tuned into the show. Let me get the Barney super chat here. I just saw this. Sorry, Barney. I'm with Will. Mendoza, ? Not gritty enough for New York. I disagree with that. I disagree with you. I don't even know if Will said that he's not gritty enough. You want to be a little concerned about his, like, all shucks personality? Okay. I don't know. If he plays well, guys will love him. If he sucks, it doesn't matter how cool he is or his personality. Like, either you're good or you're not. I get concerned, can a guy handle everything that comes with being the Jet quarterback? But I'm not, like, worried about Mendoza's personality. I don't even know if he's going to be a Jet, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. Because I'm not sure. All right, I'm sick. I got to stop talking. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. As always, appreciate you. Raffle is tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys then. JETS, 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 Jets.
You're a degenerate gambler, and you're in your mid-50s. Who bets on the Jets? Have you not learned anything about betting? The Jets are going to come back. No, they're not. They're never going to come back. They're never going to come back.
Hey, Bills Mafia! You're in the wrong stadium, you friggin' a-hole!
You guys football fans? I think the Pats could take the conference this year. I mean, the Dolphins are overrated and the Jets are choke artists.
I wouldn't say that, Mr. Deeds.
Why is that, though?
You own the Jets, Deeds.
I do? Whoa. That sucks.
You think that scares me? I'm not scared of you, you pansy!
Yeah, I'll put my own fist through your face, you friggin' a-hole!
Hey, keep moving, you hump!
Who do you want to win?
The goddamn Jets.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.